Okay, are you ready to be here for like 4 solid hours while we talked about Wolf's tits like the whole
Jesus.
time?
I was born ready. I mean, like, I came out, like, the
Oh my
womb,
god.
and,
You're
like,
already
I
you,
guess,
you just you came out as a baby wanting to suck on those pecs. And
yeah,
then you
like,
saw your
literally.
mom's tits and you're like, "No, I don't want these. I want
I'm
Wolf's."
probably, yeah, yeah. I mean, like, I
Is
imagine
this a
that I
weird
was probably
segue into our
delivered.
episode?
I was probably delivered by, like, a very muscular male nurse.
Okay, what if
Like,
Wolf was a nurse? Like Animaniacs, like, "Hello, nurse."
oh
And
my
like he was in
god.
like a sexy nurse's outfit and like a thong.
I've never, like, been attracted to nurses before, I don't
Yeah,
think.
until now.
Until now, I mean, like you slap wolf on anything, and it'll somehow be like, oh, like somewhat percent
Okay,
hotter
you
than
said
me.
slap Wolf, and my mind immediately went to just slapping Wolf's ass.
Well,
Like,
he's got a slappable
I
ass, so
know.
it's like,
Okay, let me go to my notes. Okay, my notes are still
okay,
good. They're still here.
okay. My
Alright.
notes are like a little all over the place, but I have everything in like bold font, spaced out, and I'm like super zoomed in on all my paragraphs so that I don't miss anything.
Nice. How
Because
many
I
notes did you
have,
take for this episode? By the way,
okay.
welcome. Welcome to the
Welcome to the
Loincloth Hour,
Loincloth Hour,
a
a
podcast where
podcast
we
where we
talk
talk
about
over each other.
homoerotic cartoons, yes, and over each other.
We talk over each other about homoerotic cartoons and the men within them. Like you ever just like watch like a television show as a kid or like a cartoon? You see like a really like buff or like hot or handsome like guy, and he's like naked
Yeah, and it
and
did you
like
funny
and
feelings.
it gave you funny feelings, and it's like, oh wow, I wonder if that'll this better not have any like effect on me.
We talked about those cartoons.
Awaken anything in me
Yes,
is what I
I
meant to
hope this
say.
doesn't awaken anything in me.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like, it's funny, I believe this is the cartoon, this episode in particular, that did awaken a little, something in you, Sid.
Oh my god, this particular episode like literally almost killed me as a teenager just
Oh my
watching it.
god. Like, the
Um
bloodlust, like, rushing from your brain.
to my penis.
Wow.
Yeah, like I was like a confused teenager. Wasn't
Uh-huh.
even sure I was gay yet, and I was just so fixated on this particular episode. This and another episode that has Wolf in it, but like mostly just like this episode in
Like,
particular.
like, you were watching the show, like, Goliath, Lexington, Hudson, Broadway, like, all of that, like, you were still unsure after all of them, but then Wolf
Hmm.
in this episode, like, made you really realize,
Yeah,
like, no, I'm very gay.
yeah, like there was just like this third eye of like homosexuality that just like awoken inside of me. I'm just like, yeah, okay, bring on the men.
Bring them on, indeed.
Bring them on. And speaking from a nostalgic point of view, this might be my favorite episode from the show, or at least in my top
This
three,
one is
because
really good.
it's so good.
I'm
It's
so
like the
happy to be
season two
talking about a good
premiere.
episode again.
It's the season two premiere. Everything happens at once in your face. There are titties everywhere. There's like man
Everyone
like
looks hot in this
everyone
episode.
looks so
Gargoyles,
hot in this
humans, like,
episode.
fucking everyone looks amazing.
Yeah,
Really
like
good animation.
they had all the budget saved like they got from season one, and this is the season two premiere, and they're just like, let's just fucking start out with a bang.
Yeah, I
Like
mean, that's how
let's
you do
just
it. Like, you want to front load
let,
a bunch of the good
let's
episodes
yeah.
to make
Let's
sure
make
that,
everyone
yeah.
look as good as possible. They're super
Oh my god.
expressive. They're super like muscly, and they have like their bodies are detailed and everything.
They're just
And
flexing with every idle motion that they're making.
there were parts where it's like, okay, that feeling people get when they watch JoJo's. It's probably like how I feel when I watch this episode.
Probably.
If that makes sense, because JoJo's got like a lot of muscular men
A lot of muscle
allegedly.
men being extra with each other. Yeah, that's sort of like this
Yeah,
episode.
you and I have never watched JoJo's though.
Okay, I've tried to watch JoJo like 3 or 4 times, and by watch I mean like both the manga and the anime. Like, I can't get past like the second arc. I know that everyone listening is groaning right now, being like, "Oh, he didn't even get to the good stuff." Like, I've tried. I've tried multiple times. It's not all
I,
animes are for everyone. It's okay.
I watched like the first episode and I was like, and I didn't watch the
Oh
rest.
my god.
That's it.
Like, from what I know, like, every arc is, like, better than the last ones. Like, nobody really likes the
Yeah.
first arc. The second arc is sort of like, eh. Then, like, the third arc is, like, the good one, from what I know. And then, like, it gets even better from there.
Well, I mean, like I've watched like bad anime in the past, but I was under the impression that it was good because I was a dumb kid.
Well, yeah. You're a dumb kid, then you watched this show, and it made you...
Oh God.
It unlocked your true
Yeah.
potential for thirst.
Yeah, there was like Gargoyles in general just like has so many attractive like male characters and female characters as well. Like
Yeah, like, I feel like it's held on pretty well. Like, the people
yeah,
who are fans of Gargoyles now, like, we're fans for life.
pretty much.
And
Yeah, there
it's
are a
had,
lot
like,
of
a resurgence of popularity, like, it being on Disney Plus now. It's getting, like, new merchandise,
Yeah.
board games. I can't wait to get my hands on
Yeah.
that.
Oh my God, I want to get my hands on the Hudson action figure.
Uh-huh.
I want that so badly.
Like, I wonder, especially because they announced that they're making a new continuation of the original X-Men cartoon. That would be called
Yeah, that
X-Men
makes me
97.
really think.
Yeah, so
that makes me really think.
Like,
And I'm not sure to be scared or like excited. I'm like kind of scared excited right now.
I feel like it's possible they could just make a continuation of Gargoyles, and they just base like the first bunch of episodes on the comics that are already out, basically already like storyboarded, so to speak, and then
Yeah,
like just
yeah.
continue from there. That would be
Yeah.
awesome. That's what I want,
agree.
like a direct continuation. Get as many voice actors back as as you're able to. If they can't voice the same characters still, they can do new roles maybe, like they're doing with the X-Men actors.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, I'm very excited.
Okay, but first of all, I'm very excited for the episode we're going to be talking about today.
Oh, why
Like,
is that? Is this a special episode?
We've been talking about how special this particular episode is. Like the past, like what? How long have we been going now?
I
Like
don't know.
7 minutes.
I thought you meant like since we started the podcast.
Oh God. No, like this coming like June, June as of next year, our podcast will be a year old.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So see, it didn't take us like an entire year to get to season 2.
No.
Nah.
But
nah.
okay, but this episode though, okay. First
Like,
episode
I'm
of
literally-
season 2, it's setting the scene, so to speak, for the rest of the season. So like, how do you think they're gonna
Yes.
do that? By focusing on like our cool gargoyles who we like so much and they're so pleasant, or by focusing on a bunch
Yeah.
of weird, fucked up villains who spend the whole time like bitching at each other and trying to backstab each other?
Oh my God.
How are they
Okay,
gonna do
so-
this?
So, like, you can tell, like, even as Season 1 was ending and the future for Gargoyles was unsure, they really wanted to use more of the pack and the characters they created with the pack. And I guess they just kind of, like, blew their load with this, like, Season 2 premiere.
Yeah,
like,
just
we already
like we
established... We already established what the Gargoyles' purpose is, to protect the city, to protect the innocent, yada yada
Yeah,
yada.
like the whole last
and-
episode we watched, Reawakening, like, established
Yes.
their new status quo going
Yes.
forward.
Yes, pretty much. So we already know where they're at. The thing is, we need to know where these freaks, these weirdos, these gay like connoisseurs,
These
like what are they?
disasters that we call the pack.
Yeah, just about. Like, what are they up to?
What are they up to?
So okay, so we're with this episode. Have we been doing the previously on Gargoyles thing, or was it this episode that kind of kicks that off?
I think this is the first time that, like, you
Yeah.
mean like that the show itself had a previously on Gargoyles?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
I
Lexington
think this
that
is the
does
first
the
time.
announcement.
I did like that it was Lex who did it.
Yeah.
Especially because this is like sort of like a Lex Focus episode as well,
Yes.
so it's
Oh,
sort
it
of
is,
fitting
yeah.
for that. But yeah, so he does like previously on Gargoyles, and like let's see what the fuck even happens. We see
We get a brief recap of things from the previous episode.
we see like
regarding
Fox
the pack,
like talking about
regarding
Xanatos
Fox.
to Elisa in prison. We see a bunch of pack stuff.
Yeah, and it's like I like that they have the recaps because you can be like caught up on like what's going on in this episode. That's a thing that I love a lot of '90s cartoons doing.
Yeah,
And a lot of
speaking
anime still
X-Men.
does it.
I believe they were one of the first shows to like really
Speaking
do
of
that with
X-Men.
previously on X-Men. They do that like every
Yeah.
time.
Okay, so we're gonna do a new drinking game with you.
What, every time I mention X-Men?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
it's gonna
yeah,
be a
that's
lot,
what...
because I have at least like 3 mentions in my
Okay,
notes of things in
okay,
this episode that reminded me
okay.
of X-Men.
Well, we're gonna do the drinking game with me and Wolf too. So, and if you're
Okay, no,
watching this
that will kill
episode,
people.
yeah, we're gonna like I'm out for blood. Like
Oh
you're
my
gonna
god.
perish
Okay,
under
people,
my
please do not
name.
play this drinking game along with us. Just... Although, we are gonna be here for a while, so, like, you do want to stay hydrated. You
Yes.
know, grab some tape out, like, have something ready. You're gonna go on
Yeah,
a
yeah,
journey with
yeah.
us today.
Yeah, honestly, I ate before him and I both ate before we got into this call to do this podcast. I have a Coca-Cola on standby I started drinking.
Excellent.
I don't think it'll still be here by the time we're done, so that's interesting. But yeah, I guess we can get started on describing what happens in this episode.
Okay.
We might as well just like start going down this
okay,
road.
before we even get to the episode, there's one other thing to mention. The Gargoyles opening now has voiceover in it, because it's season 2.
Yeah.
And Keith David does such a good job. Like, every time
Yeah.
I listened to the opening in season 1, I was like, something's missing. Like, it's not right. And what it was missing was Keith David's beautiful timbers just recapping the story for us.
Yeah, I prefer this intro, to be honest, and it's got more clips from like later episodes in season 2 as well.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. I know it has a clip from this episode where Goliath like punches Xanatos or whatever.
Did we? Yeah, but okay, yeah.
But
I
does
suppose
it have
you're
more than that?
right.
I have to watch it again. I didn't really see.
I might have
updated
to
it.
as well. I might be mistaken. We already saw the clip where like Brooklyn is like climbing up the wall, right? Like he looks like he's coming
that's
towards
always
you.
been there, I think.
Okay, yeah, okay, but like what episode is that from?
I don't know.
I think it was one. It might have been one of the season 1 episodes. But
I think
forget,
it was.
honestly.
I think like everything from the season 1 opening was all from the Awakening 5-parter. I think.
That yeah, a good portion of it. Okay, so are you ready to go on this?
I
journey
am
with me?
so ready.
Okay.
Sorry, that was
so,
too much.
I'm
ready,
excited
though.
too.
I am
I'm
ready.
wearing 2 pairs of socks and a lot of deodorant, and neither of those are going to be here by the time we're done. Okay,
What?
so my feet are really cold today. All right, listen, my feet are cold. I'm wearing 2 pairs of socks because I'm like shaking in
is
anticipation.
it cold down in Florida?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, cold for a Floridian.
Oh.
Because like it's like in the low 70s, late 60s.
Oh my God.
That's
Okay,
cold
well,
for
we'll
me.
keep warm down there. I know you're shivering up a storm, I'm sure.
I like hot weather too much. I'm just like more accustomed to it. Okay, but anyways, for this particular episode, we have the animation is beautiful. First of all, like start to finish,
It's
the
so
animation
good.
looks amazing. Like we have like all these cinematic sequences of like just like the ocean, and we start out on the ocean. We pan over to the horizon.
Yeah, we see the title card, Leader of the Pack, over the water.
We see an airplane fly in front of the horizon.
Yeah, and the
we
sun is
pan-
like, it's like shimmering.
beaming.
Or,
It's
like,
beaming.
Yeah.
And sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
I thought you were gonna say something. Okay, so
Wait,
the sun is
what,
beaming.
What was I,
an airplane.
What did you think I was going to say?
I don't know. I thought you were like about to start a sentence, and I interrupted you.
Oh, no.
It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so the sun is beaming. An airplane passes over the horizon, and we pan to what seems to be an anthropomorphic shaped individual climbing the prison walls.
It's another
Like,
of those mysterious silhouettes that this show loves so much.
it's like a coyote shaped helmet on like what seems to be black skin tight power armor.
Skin tight spandex of some kind. Okay, like he's
Yeah,
scaling the
yeah.
prison wall, and like the sound he's making as he's going up, he's like thrusting like his claws like into the wall each time as he's going up. It reminded me of Wolverine from the X-Men, of course.
Oh my god!
But like it's the same sound effect though that he always made from the cartoon.
I'm not as familiar with the sound effect as you are.
And
but
plus,
I'll
I
take
mean,
your
like,
word for
anyone
it.
with claws coming out of their hands, like, of course I'm gonna think of Wolverine, because I'm fixated on him.
Okay.
I think Wolverine is super
Well,
hot. He's really
as
hairy,
this-
and he gets naked a
As
lot.
is as this figure is climbing up the prison wall, scaling the wall, we do pan around to notice that he has quite a descriptive, like, bulge and ass on him. And there is one shot where we pan awfully close to this figure's crotch as it's climbing upwards.
We're gonna be looking at Coyote's like bulge and ass a lot in this episode because the episode keeps showing it to us.
It sucks that like this is the hottest Coyote will ever be.
Yeah, but like he looks really good here.
He does, and to think, I don't want to spoil anything just yet, but this body is sculpted after another character. We have talked about how attractive they are in the past, or at least I have.
So like imagine that character just like modeling themselves for this. Be sure to get my good side.
Yeah. So he gets to a barred window, this figure, and then seems to melt the bars.
Okay, he sprays like some kind of gas, and it makes the bars melt. I don't even, I'm already just like I don't know what's happening. We also see a guard walking down on like his route through the prison. He's just like twirling his nightstick a lot. Yeah, I guess that's what guards do.
Yeah. I'm glad you took notes on him twirling the nightstick.
Well, I just noticed this, like, okay, for one thing, because it's a notable, like, animation flourish that this show, like, usually doesn't do unless they need to, but this episode has, like, so much budget that they can even give, like, the guards interesting things to do.
Yes, they do.
That I like. But, like, so the bars melt, but the guards, like, hears them, like, the pieces of the bars, like, fall on the floor, and he, like, whirls around. And it's like, oh, there's this guy here, like the Coyote mask.
There's an intruder. There's an intruder.
So the dart says, what in the world? And then, nice and easy, Jack. And he's pointing his gun at him.
Yeah. That's like a cop thing to say.
Yeah, Jack.
I'm pretty sure Elise has said that a couple times, too, in the series. Probably. I could hear her saying it, like, in my mind
if she
right
said
now.
it would be cool, I think.
Okay, so what this Coyote figure does is he seems to cast some sort of like hypnotic ray beam to make the guard have some sort of intense acid trip where he thinks he's melting before he's just like on the floor groveling.
He like brings his hands up in front of his face and like he sees his fingers like melting off of his hands.
This is like, again, like the show's animation is just like off the walls, like right now.
Okay, you know what the effect though of like the beam coming out from Coyote's gun like reminded me of though?
Something from X-Men?
So there's this character in X-Men, the animated series. Her name is Vertigo, and she lives in the Savage Land, and like her mutant power is just like making people dizzy, basically. But every time she uses her powers, it looks like Coyote's gun here, where just like concentric circles come out, and she always says like, "Behold the power of Vertigo," and the X-Men are always like, and they're just like falling around. Anyway, that's what it looks like here.
This is like kind of like intense though. This sequence of like
her powers make people dizzy. Like this one gives you like a mental breakdown, basically.
I feel so bad for like this poor prison guard, and I don't usually feel bad.
Yeah, and we don't approve of like the prison industrial complex here, but like
no, we don't.
This guy is just left basically like gibbering on the floor.
Okay, so what Coyote does is he basically just takes the guard's keys and just kind of saunters away.
Yeah, I did notice, like, his movements here. I think I'm just gonna spoil it, but, like, the way he moves is very Xanatos-like. As he, like, just scoops the keys up and, like, just walks away.
It's interesting because as he's moving, like you can notice like little increments of sound as he's doing it, and there are some parts where you can hear like some kind of like electronic stuff whirring, and it might be his power armor, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, it's like this sort of like whirring noise from him.
Yeah. Okay.
I picked that up too.
Meanwhile,
I'll let you go ahead with this next scene.
We pan to a nearby cell and we see a familiar face, Jackal, who is looking outside the prison window.
Very pensive.
Just kind of very pensive, you know. He looks like a 90s album cover with like the sunbeams reflecting on the water
like
outside.
a grunge album.
Yeah, or like some sort of like singer-songwriter album with like breakup lyrics or whatever. Anyways, and as he's looking, we hear a grunting familiar voice off to the side that seems to be counting from 200.
200.
And
201.
yeah,
202.
yeah. And we pan over and we see that it is Wolf counting his push-ups. And Wolf is wearing nothing but a white tank top on his upper body.
And he
Like,
looks so...
nothing else.
He looks so good in it.
He looks so, like, he never, like, oh my god. His boobs, dude.
His
like,
chest
he's got...
is immense. Sweaty.
Okay.
Powerful.
There's not a single second in this episode where we see him in that tank top and his tits do not look huge.
The animators
oh
were like, we have to make Wolf look really beefy, like, the whole
Oh
time.
my god. Oh my god.
And like,
Wolf's
he already
got-
looked good like before he was in prison, but once he's
Mm-hmm.
in prison, like, he has nothing to do except work out. Like,
Yeah,
I bet
and
he's been
he's-
doing push-ups like every day, like 500, 10,000,
He's got
however
his-
many push-ups.
He's got his silver hair and his long gray ponytail that reaches down to his buttocks from the back. He has like somber, like kind of like timber colored blue eyes.
Jackal also looks like really annoyed in this scene, because like Wolf's been counting out loud like 200 fucking push-ups, and Jackal is like, I'm going to fucking murder him.
I love it.
Also,
I love
okay,
it, too.
also, why are they roommates? Like, they were partners in crime. Why would the prison stick them both together? And they fucking hate each other, too.
You know, I think that's why they did it, because they knew they hated each
Okay,
other.
I have a theory, though. Do you want to hear my theory?
I would love to hear your theory.
So, like, I think that Wolf... Because we know that Wolf was in prison, like, before Jackal was put in prison. So I think that Wolf had so much, like, ass sex in the showers that it was starting to, like, tax the prison population's morale. So, like, when Jackal arrived, he was the only man who Wolf, like, didn't want to fuck. Because, like, Jackal has, like, no appeal to him whatsoever. So the prison, you know, the wardens or whatever, like, finally, someone who he won't just continually ass rape. Like, you can be roommates with this crazy, with Wolf. And Jackal's all like, if I must.
I like how non-specific you were when you just, like, said ass sex. Like, that can mean a number of things, but, like,
it has
definitely...
like, every meaning you can think of for ass sex, Wolf did in prison, okay? He's been doing it every day, every fucking day. This is his dream environment. Just men who he can dominate.
Could you imagine the social commentary that, like, a modern Gargoyles could have of, like, a gay man's life in prison?
That
like
would
a
be
closeted
interesting.
gay one. And that's how I just always kind of envision Wolf stay in prison. But yeah, there's probably some gay sex, like once in a while.
Okay, because it's
as
not
well.
gay if it's in prison. It's just to establish dominance, which is how Wolf likes
Okay,
to do
fair
it
enough.
anyway. Like, that's his kink.
Yeah, that's true. That is very, very true. So Jackal is kind of in this unwilling position of having to settle for his cellmate, while Wolf has to, like, kind of do his push-ups, and, like, he's like, I wonder if he has a prison bride by now.
Probably.
Probably
has a bunch.
Okay. So, let's continue. So, like, as he's doing his push-ups, we hear some clattering in the background, and Wolf kind of, like, pauses for a second, but then he, like, looks towards, like, Jackal and just kind of winks, and he's like, 206, to show that he didn't lose count because of the noise.
Oh, so, like, Jackal can be impressed that, like, Wolf is so smart that he can remember these big numbers.
He has to
Wolf
show off
isn't
to
so
everyone
stupid.
around him at all times.
And Jackal
So,
just
yes.
doesn't give a fuck. He's just like, stop looking at me, like, stop
Get
winking.
me out of
I'm
this prison
pretending
cell
you don't
with
even
this
exist.
big smelly wolf man.
Okay, but, like, then our beautiful Dingo is there. He's back from his European vacation, wherever that was. He looks fantastic. He's super hot. He's built. He's been working out too. He's wearing really tight pants, and like that
Yeah,
the
oh
same
God.
chest harness that he always used to wear. It shows off his
Yeah.
abs. He could easily last a week in a Central American war. I love him. Wolf loves us. He's missed his boyfriend. He's here to break him out of jail.
So Dingo just fucking walks up, and like before Jackal can even properly question anything, Dingo's like, "Right now, you best stand away from the door." In
Says,
like an
"Answers
Australian
later."
voice.
And he puts the
like,
some plastic
he
explosives
puts some
on
like
the door.
C4 looking shit, and then like, so they run back, and the door explodes open, and somehow they manage to get both their mattresses to like block the path of the explosion.
They
when
worked
the
pretty
door
quick. They're good.
I don't know, like it happens in a matter of seconds. Like everything's so fast.
This whole
like,
episode is like this. Like this episode has such a pace, like through the
I
whole
know.
thing. Like so, that's why it's going to take us so long to go over it. Just like so
And then-
much fucking happens.
And then the door explodes open. Dingo's like, "Come along, mates. The gods will be wanting to talk to us soon, most likely."
I love how he talked to them. And
Yes,
so he
yes.
takes off in like the tightest pants imaginable. Like you can see his bulge
You see his bulge.
really clearly.
Like, oh my god.
And from where Wolf and Jackal are standing, like you know that they can see like both globes of his ass too as it's running off, like just really clearly defined. And they just sort of like look at each other and like grin. Just they both think that they're gonna like we're gonna be fucking that later, and they're like, oh yeah, we will. So it's
Yeah,
great.
that's
Our
exactly
three
it.
boys they head off into the sunset, into adventure. Mm-hmm. Their story is over.
No, it's not.
Well, for this scene, it is.
So, yeah, they follow Dingo out of the cell. Wolf's tits, Wolf's big old bazongas,
Oh my
Wolf's
God.
breasticle boobies as he's running. They
I'm
still,
sorry. How can
you know,
I forget
Dingo,
to mention that he had
Dingo
big
is not the
tits,
only
for
one that looks good. Like, Wolf
I'm
looks
so
amazing.
sorry. Wolf
He's
looks
just
good,
amazing
too.
in every scene. I have to
I
describe how good he
neglected
looks
to
in every
mention
scene.
his tits. I'm
He's-
so sorry.
He's very, like, oh my god. Like, oh my god. I want to be, like, suffocated by them.
Oh my god. Okay, next scene.
Okay, so Hyena is just in her cell shooting rubber bands at roaches because I guess that's what keeps her occupied. I guess
That's what
just
she's
her,
doing,
her,
yeah.
her passing time.
She has
and
a
she's
slingshot.
sharing a cell with Fox.
Now why are they sharing a cell together?
Not only that, but we know that these two have canonically actually fucked.
Okay,
so
this
it's
is
like,
when
what
they fuck. Like, this is definitely when they
Probably.
fuck.
Probably.
Who do you think topped?
I mean, oh god, I would be afraid of Hyena top. Like, I would be in fear.
Okay,
for my
I
life.
feel like Fox wouldn't be afraid, and that they'd switch off. But like Fox,
do you know
Fox
there's-
allowing Hyena to top her is just like another expression of dominance for her. Actually,
Okay, but how do you know one of them was the top, one of them was the bottom? What if they just like 69'd it most of the time?
I can definitely see that too.
I could see that like very easily.
Yeah.
Like,
And you know, they're
it's in my
both.
mind.
I think they're both conscientious lovers. They go down on each other. They make sure that they're
Yeah.
both satisfied. It's girl power.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
great.
There's a lot
It's
of
empowering.
like if like sitcoms and television taught me anything, it's that there's a lot of like pussy eating in like female prisons.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to like be like stereotypical or derogatory or
No,
anything.
you're
Like, there
not
legit
being
is.
crass.
There's a-
This is just
there is
reality.
there is a lot of oral sexual encounters in a lot of prisons, in female prisons as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and most of the time it is very consensual.
Oh, I'm sure it was consensual for these two as well. So, okay, but
Yeah.
Fox is on her bed. She's reading a book. She has, like, a stack of books next to her. And
Yes,
Hyena's all like,
yes.
why do you read that stuff? And Fox says, because Nietzsche's too butch and Kafka reminds me of your little friends over there. Which is, like, a funny joke
Why?
by itself. But the book she is reading, you can see, it's by Sartre, who's a French philosopher that I went and looked up in the course of this episode. And, like, he
Okay.
honestly sounds awesome. So, okay, ready yourself for some Sartre facts.
Okay.
So he was a French philosopher who lived in the 19th century,
I
playwright,
love him
novelist, screenwriter, political
him.
activist.
Ooh.
He was one of the key figures in the philosophy of existentialism and phenomenology,
Oh, okay.
and one of the leading figures in 20th century French philosophy and Marxism. His work has influenced sociology, critical theory, post-colonial theory, literary studies. I'm just reading from Wikipedia, and it
I'm
continues to
literally
influence
doing
those
a
disciplines.
course on literary studies right now, so
He's
that's awesome.
also noted for his open relationship with prominent feminist and fellow existentialist philosopher Simone de Beauvoir, which I'm probably mispronouncing. Together,
Beauvoir.
the two of them challenged the cultural and social assumptions and expectations of their upbringings, which they considered bourgeois in both lifestyles and thought. The conflict between oppressive, spiritually destructive conformity and an authentic way of being was the dominant theme in Sartre's early work, a theme embodied in his principal philosophical work, Being and Nothingness. So those are some Sartre facts for you.
That's a lot of research you did.
I just thought it was okay. That's neat.
No,
though.
I mean I like it. I like this stuff, and I knew I was gonna like him as soon as he said he was French. And don't get me wrong, I love so much of the creative art that comes from France. I don't know why. Like my favorite album of all time, Daughter of Darkness, is made by two French musicians.
Yeah, and French comics have always been next level.
Oh god, yeah. My favorite, that 13-hour movie I watched, Out One, was like a part of the French New Wave cinema movement.
Mm-hmm. I just think it's neat that I looked this guy up and thought he was so cool, and because Gargoyles has introduced things to me my entire life basically. So many people say they first got into Shakespeare through this show or mythology in general. So I think it's neat that this show is now introduced this French philosopher to me as well. There's never stops.
Yeah.
It continues to teach us.
There's just so much creativity in this show that is implemented, and I love just exploring all of it. There's just that's why Gargoyles is one of my favorite shows of all time. Probably my favorite cartoon of all time, because it's there's just so much. I admire the writing style behind it. I admire just a lot. I don't know. I don't really have a lot to say. I'm glad that you found something that fascinated
you.
I
think this choice of author for Fox is just meant to show that she's an intelligent person, which I also like.
Oh, yeah.
And she just name drop those other philosophers, which I'm sure Hyena probably didn't even know who the fuck these people are.
Probably
but,
not.
Fox is just yeah, I'm doing it for this reason. You fucking
Hyena does
you moron
read the Daily
sadist
Tatler,
I'm sharing a cell with. And I also like to say that funding prison libraries is important because expanding your mind is important, and this gives inmates something intellectual to busy themselves with, and having prisons be a purely punitive experience doesn't do anybody any good. So
I
fund
agree.
Prison libraries so that Fox can keep reading in prison.
I'll probably look up some sort of some sort of charity or fund, and I could probably link it in the description of the podcast.
That would be great,
because that's honestly a good movement I could also get behind. Okay,
what the fuck else is happening here?
Well, we were just talking about the books.
We're
reading,
a minute into the episode, and we've been
okay. We haven't described Hyena's what she's using to throw at the roaches yet.
She has a slingshot.
Well, it's like a rubber band and a paperclip.
Yeah, she shouldn't have a slingshot. I feel like the guard should remove that from her.
It's not a slingshot, it's a rubber band and a paperclip.
She shouldn't have a rubber band or a paperclip. She could fashion weapons out of them.
Well, she will find ways to fashion weapons out of anything. And I mean anything.
By the way, I feel like I posited in an earlier episode that Hyena probably tortured small animals as a kid. Here we do see her literally torturing animals. So I feel like maybe I was remembering this scene last time without realizing I was remembering this.
Yes. Maybe, I don't know. But I mean, roaches are insects, not animals.
They
count
as animals.
I do totally see Hyena in that kind of area.
She just
and I think I made
inflicting pain on other things.
She does. She's a psychopath. Genuinely.
Okay. So she flicks another paperclip at a cockroach, and then Coyote all of a sudden is just there, and he's like, "Nice shot, good day, ladies." And they're like, "Who the devil are you?" And he's like, "Call me Coyote." And then he spreads C4 on their door, but unlike Dingo, he doesn't warn them what he's doing, so the door just explodes, and they're right next to the fucking door. Did you see?
I noticed that.
They're flown back by the explosion, shrapnel just rains all over them.
Okay, but we established earlier that he can melt bars, Can he just do that, or would that take too long?
I don't know.
Like,
I loved
get...
a lot of this scene though, because they're like, "What the fuck?"
This random spandex-clad, like, coyote man just broke them out of prison.
And let's see, he holds out like a glove claw thing to Hyena, like the weapon that she always used in the pack. And he's all like, "Coming, or would you rather rot in jail?" And she's all like, "Well, I like a man who brings me weapons." Like, she's already like into
like,
him.
oh god, oh fuck, it's beginning here.
Okay, and then she takes the claw though, and she doesn't put it on, but she's just like rubbing it, like in the background. She's like caressing her claw.
It's like this is her pet. Like, this is the only thing she loves.
Like, she's missed being able to just like murder people whenever she wants. So she's so happy now.
Yeah, you know, I mean, like, I'm not one to judge looks on appearance, but Hyena has always, to me, looked like just, like, a fucking crazy person.
Yeah, I mean, it's because she is one.
Yeah. So, okay, so what happens next is a female guard enters the picture and attempts to stop Coyote with her nightstick, but it breaks against him when she tries to hit him, and Coyote pretty much just takes the guard and throws her at Hyena.
Who grabs her. And she's all like, "Here's something to remember me by for about 5 seconds. Yeah, like she's gonna cut the guard's like fucking face
before
off.
Fox steps in and is all, "Yeah, no, don't fucking kill her."
Fox, the hero, she's like, "There's no need to do that." And Hyena's yeah, there is. It's because I want to. And so they have this girl fight, and the guard just like falls to the floor during all this, and she's just like, "Oh my god, like what is happening?" There's these fucking crazy people. And Coyote's all like, "Okay, this doesn't fucking matter because we have to leave now." But Fox is like, "No, I'm staying here. I'm gonna serve out my time, pay my debts." And she like helps the guard back to her feet and is like protecting the guard. Like, they play this so well because Fox does seem like a genuinely good person here.
I mean, she does, but at the same time, this is all according to plan.
All according to plan. And Hyena's like, okay. Hyena's ready to actually murder Fox too now. Because she's like, okay, well, I'll kill both of you. Which is, I'm just like, whoa!
Yeah,
okay.
Hyena is antisocial to the point where she'll legit just, like, kill anyone she's been close with and not think anything of it.
Like, we went from a 3 to, like, an 11. Like, instantaneously.
I worry about Jackal sometimes. I know he's a bit of a creepy guy, but man, you know, his sister is something else.
God.
I feel like she's gonna kill him one day. Like,
probably,
that could happen.
Yeah, like, as soon as she gets bored enough, and if he's, like, stupid enough to, like, be alone with her, yeah, he'll probably be killed.
Yeah.
Okay, I think even Coyote's surprised by this, because he's just like, no, we're going. And then Hyena is all like, okay, Rover.
Okay, Rover.
But you better be awful cute behind that mask. Like, she's so into him already. This is my OTP for the show, is Hyena and Coyote. Like,
that's your OTP?
Okay, they make me so happy. I just love that Hyena is such a fucked up person, and like her attraction to Coyote, especially later on, is just like, it's everything to me.
Yeah, they do make a pretty good couple.
It's everything I want.
Yeah, and whatchamacallit, I lost my train of thought. I wouldn't call them my OTP, but they do have a dynamic I'm a fan of.
They delight me. That's all that there is to it.
So, cops chase Hyena and Coyote down the hall.
Right, yeah.
And Coyote legit just, like, shoots at the ceiling and blocks the guards in a little avalanche. And Hyena's like, okay, so what the fuck? We have nowhere to go now? And
yeah, because they come to a dead end.
Coyote just blasts a hole in the nearby wall, and Hyena's all like, okay, my bad.
Yeah, but there's still, like, 4 stories up, so she's still just like, but how the fuck are we gonna get down, though? Like, what the fuck? So then he, like, just picks her up.
She's like, what now, mystery man?
Yeah,
and he legit just scoops her up into his arms, and they jumps out the hole.
So romantic. She's screaming, like, the entire time.
Yeah.
This is like that scene in Hunchback of Notre Dame where Quasimodo has to bring Esmeralda down from, like, the rooftop, and she's also screaming, and there's a goat involved. Just like in this show.
It's a much more wholesome relationship than I think these two.
Okay, so but they land like really hard. Like Coyote seems completely unharmed by this.
She's all like, oh, hoo, you're full of surprises.
So, but then like they're still being shot at, so they all run away. We see the guys like they're all running from their side of the prison, also all being shot at.
I like how Wolf's pecs are still suckable even from like a distance. Like even like when the camera shot is like from far away, you can still just see how like they still made it a clear point that he has huge pecs.
They're really
just,
big
like,
here. I was actually surprised by like how many unique frames of animation there are, like just of them running. Like I'd expect them to just like repeat the same like 4 or 5 just for them running. But no, they're running uniquely the whole time.
Yeah, because at the beginning of a season, the show has something called a budget.
Yeah,
and then as the season
it's nice. We should always be at the beginning of a season.
Well, unfortunately, that's not the case. But and let's enjoy the goodness while we're in it. Okay.
Yeah,
so,
I am enjoying this. So the two groups like meet at the front of the gate, and there's a close up on Wolf's face. I just have to point this out. He has beautiful blue eyes. And I feel like I never really noticed this until like this one close up.
Do you see why I'm in love with this
looks
man?
Gorgeous.
Like, he's so attractive.
This beautiful like muscle daddy who's grumpy all the time.
Oh my god. I'm like, my stomach's all queasy right now just thinking about him. Is it impossible to be like in love with like a fictional character?
Yeah. There are people who've married fictional characters. You could do that with Wolf.
Can I do that? I want to do that with Wolf.
Yeah, they probably do that in Vegas.
I don't think I'm his type, but like I'll create like a computer generated AI that's like a super like muscle OC, and I'll just put that into like a little virtual world, and I'll just have him interact with Wolf.
Just make like a Second Life account, and
just
Wolf
about. Yeah, just about. Okay,
God.
so Wolf very gruffly at the gate. He's like, "Well, now what?"
And
then
so
Coyote legit just like runs up and decimates the door with his hands. Like it's just putty to him now.
You see Coyote's ass in this shot too.
You do see Coyote's ass. He's got a great ass.
And the spandex is like really tight. Like really tight.
Yeah, like everybody in this scene is looking pretty fucky right now.
Yeah,
like,
besides Jackal. Even Jackal is kind of hot in this episode.
Yeah,
I'll grown
say
on
that.
me. Okay.
Yeah, he's grown on me too.
Okay, so he rips the
picks
gate
up the
like,
gate,
out, and then
the pack is just like amazed.
Yeah, they're amazed. Wolf wants to fuck him now.
Wolf is legit just like, oh, okay, I'm impressed.
Yeah, and like I don't think Wolf has ever said anything like that. But like this display of masculinity is just, like even he is sort of turned on by it.
Yes, gate coded. It's all there. He likes it when strong men do strong things.
Yeah, just he's like, ugh, I don't know if I want to beat him or kiss him. You know, it's that sort of reaction.
It's pretty much that's how he responds. That's how he that's his language.
So Coyote throws this massive door like behind him onto a bunch of guards, some of whom definitely die. Like, can we agree on that?
Yeah. I don't know if you'd survive like a heavy projectile like that.
I feel like it's like a 2-ton steel door. Like I don't know. The rest of the pack
is that a lot?
Whatever.
It's like a prison. The door weighs 2 tons. You see, no one's gonna get out of these doors.
I just picked a weight, okay. The rest of the pack runs out. They take cover behind some rocks. Like they're still being shot at, like by the entire prison yard by now.
Mm-hmm.
Dingo's shooting back, but he's the only one with a fucking gun. Let's see. Wolf is like, okay, where is Fox? And like, who the fuck is this guy?
And Dingo's like, he's Coyote, the guy who's saving your tail. Yeah. I don't know if I do the voice right.
No, that was perfect. And I don't know. Like, yeah.
You don't know.
Wolf's tail.
Yeah.
Like,
Wolf's tail?
Wolf's butt.
Oh, yeah, he's saving his tail.
Yeah, his tail.
Yeah. I don't think Wolf ever gets a tail, even later in the series, though.
Do you think he just, like, had the option of having a tail, but decided not to?
No, I want to show off my ass more. Express these glutes, you see.
It would mess with his what the fuck
Tail's
does he
only
wear?
gonna slow me down.
Oh my god. And Dingo would be like, but you're supposed to give you better balance, Wolf. And he'd be like, fuck you.
Balance schmalance. It's all about appearance. Puts on a leotard. Oh god.
Yeah, that's the real reason he didn't want a tail. It would mess with his leotard fixation.
God, I want, like, I would have preferred it if they just, like, never gave him a leotard and they just gave him, like, a Speedo like the other mutates. Like,
Yeah.
why can't we just do that?
Or like Beast from X-Men.
And we could always... Yes, exactly! And we
Take
could
a
always
drink.
see his We could always see his fuzzy pecs at all times.
Okay,
His
yeah,
big
that
fuzzy
I would have been
bazonas.
way more into his wolf form if he
Yes!
wasn't wearing a leotard.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. We need just, like, a reanimation of, like, the whole second season, but, like, with Mutate Wolf, like, without the top of the leotard.
Yeah, and Wolf is, like, suddenly the main character for some reason.
I want more... If they ever did a continuation of Gargoyles, I want, like, a wolf-focused episode.
I want
At
Wolf
least
to be
one.
turned back into a puppy, and then he just spends the rest of the show, like, as their pet. He can run around Castle Wyvern. He can be Xanatos and Fox's pet. That would be
You
so
could
cute.
adopt him as a puppy, and then he'd just grow into, like, this big, strong, grumbly man.
He would pee in your shoes, like, every day. It would be like, Pierre in Mary Worth. The
my
newspaper
God.
strip. Okay.
He's
We have to go back to the show now. Okay, Jackal is freaking out too, because, like, everyone's shooting at them. And Coyote's all
Yeah.
like, oh, ye of little faith. And he turns to the ocean, and you see his eyes, like, in the mask, just, like, glow bright red. And there's this,
We
the
see
whirring
several shots
sound
like
comes
that.
back. And then from out of the ocean comes this massive, like, bubbling shape. And then there's, like, a geyser of water and, like, light beams. Like, stuff is crazy. An airship emerges from out of the water. I don't know how. It swims, it flies. Like, this thing does everything. And all the whole pack is all like, whoa. And Coyote just says,
Keanu!
you all have
Whoa!
exact change, I hope. Which is so, like, such a fucking dad joke. It's so bad.
He does a couple, like, sarcastic little, like, remarks that I like. I like when he's pretending to be an airline pilot.
Yeah, that's the very next thing he does. He's please
Yeah.
fasten your seatbelts and return to your seats and tray tables.
Yeah!
To a full upright position. And, like, none of the packs say anything, but they're like, who the fuck is this dweeb? Like, why did he rescue us? Why is he cracking bad dad jokes at us? Like, we don't want to be here.
I love this episode so much. It's like, what the fuck? What the fuck is happening with these characters at any time? Okay.
But
So
yeah,
let me
the
go
ship,
to my
the
notes
ship
real
zooms
quick.
off into the sky, and they make their escape.
Okay. And with that, we fade to the city at night.
New
A
York
clock tower.
City.
A clock tower is chiming, which segues us
The
towards
bells
the
sound like
gargoyles.
Quasimodo is there. It's like
Yeah.
this beautiful ringing
Yeah,
sound.
I was gonna say that. Yeah.
Take a drink also every time I mention Hunchback of Notre Dame.
It's fine. That's your favorite. That's like your favorite movie. Which segues second favorite behind The Last Unicorn,
Oh,
right?
thank you. Thank you for remembering. I wasn't going to correct
Yeah.
you, but
I got
internally
you.
I was like, it's only my
I
second
got your
favorite movie.
back. I got your back. I know. I remember my friends' favorites
Aw.
things. I actually learned I have a really good memory, like scary good.
Nice. Keep that.
So
Okay, so we see the clock tower. The sun is setting, and we see like Goliath's stone face in profile, and then
Yes.
of course
Yes.
we get a full flexing shot of Goliath.
Yeah.
Stretching out all his muscles. His bulge is like right next to the camera.
Yeah. Well, it's the start of the season, so we have
Yeah,
to
it's
have a
like-
very cinematic awakening
Yeah, well, like
sequence.
it's the start of the season. The first shot we see of Goliath is his massive dick. Like, we're back. Gargoyles is back, everyone. Back where it
Yes,
needs
yes.
to be.
Yeah. So
We
they
see
all
everyone
awaken.
else. Yeah, everyone else wakes up. Everyone is flexing. They're also like
Broadway's
yawning this
yawning.
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
this one feels more like waking up than they usually do.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's a regular routine as the life of a gargoyle, because you turn to stone every day, and then you wake up every night.
Maybe this is meant to symbolize just like it's been a while between seasons, so like they're like metaphorically waking up, so to speak. I'm probably
Yeah,
reading
yeah,
too
yeah.
much into it.
Like, I love how, like, the voice actors get called back in with the second season, they're so excited, they're like, okay, the first thing I need you to do is yawn.
Yeah, yawn really
Just, like,
loudly.
really deep into the microphone. We need we need a few more yawning takes from you.
Yeah.
Voice actor number 3, I forget their names. I I see so much
I
for
know
my
Keith
good memory.
David and Ed Asner. I don't know the others' names anymore. And Marina Sirtis,
Keith
of course.
David, Ed Asner, Marina Sirtis,
Jonathan Frakes, our
Jonathan
favorites.
Frakes, obviously.
I don't know the
Uh,
trio.
oh god, I always forget the tree. Oh, I know the Broadway's like Patrick's voice actor.
Oh yeah, Patrick Swayze.
SpongeBob. Oh my god.
Okay, so
Okay.
they all go inside, and Elisa's
They
there
head within.
waiting for them. I'm just gonna speed through this scene. She tells them the pack has escaped from prison, and Lex immediately like freaks
Rikers
out.
Island.
Huh?
That's the prison name, Rikers Island.
Oh, okay, from Rikers, which is a real
That's
prison.
important. Yes, yes. I thought you would do research on it, which is why
I didn't do
like,
research on the prison, although I guess I could
I
have.
figured you might have because it's like I was like, okay, this is a prison on an island. I'm sure Croup probably will say something about this in my.
Well,
I put that in my notes.
I haven't been to this particular prison in my own time behind bars,
Have
so
you?
yeah, I can't really say much about it.
I would not be able to picture you behind bars at a prison.
I commit crimes.
Well, yeah, so do I, but I mean, I'm not gonna. Okay, whatever.
Lex
I was gonna
freaks
say I could see you visiting a prison is what I meant to say.
Why would I visit a prison?
I don't know. They have like tours for like Alcatraz.
Yeah, I never understood like people who went on those. Like, it felt weird to me.
Because they love like disturbing like prison stories.
Yeah, I guess so. I hope that the
I
guys
don't
like
know.
tell disturbing prison stories on those
That's
tours.
exactly what they do.
Good,
I'm
I'm glad.
fairly certain. I watch like ghost hunting shows and I've seen them like do like paranormal investigations.
Have there ever been
for sure.
haunted prisons?
Yes, there has been. I like watching the ghost
Ooh.
investigations at the prisons, and it's like they'll hear like noises coming from down the halls of like what sounds like cell bars like rattling or something.
Oh, that's so spooky. Ooh.
I know, I love it. I love it. I love ghost things. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
Lex wants to kill the pack because he hates the pack. Because they betrayed him. He confessed his love to them. He's in love with them, but they spurned his advances. And now he's like, okay, well then I'll fucking kill you. Because they also tried to kill him.
He's like so amped up.
It was a whole
this
thing.
Whole episode.
He is amped up. Yeah, like he's ready to like take off immediately. But Goliath's like, whoa, like stop, hold on. And I think Broadway is all like, we don't even know where they would be. And there was one line I like here where he says that Manhattan is a much bigger castle than they're used to protecting, which I just thought was like a cute way to put it for them.
Yeah.
But Lexington is like, a smart person. He's like, they're gonna go back to Pact Media Studios. Just like, where the fuck else would they go? And so they're like, okay, yeah, that's reasonable. And Brooklyn is like, okay, you and I, Lex, will go check it out. Because I feel like Brooklyn wants to be there to like rein Lex in from like trying to murder people, like getting in over his head.
Yeah.
So like he's being like the protective brother right now.
I gotta say this. I related so hard to Brooklyn this whole episode more than I ever did because
he's really good this episode.
I am in actuality a protective older brother in real life. So like everything he was doing, the sarcastic remarks and everything else, like this is all stuff I've done before on a regular basis.
Yeah,
so
I mean that's how I've been to my own younger
If Brooklyn
too.
were more like this in every single episode he's in, I would like him a lot more.
He also looks really hot in this episode. Like everyone looks really hot. I think Lexington
Everyone
especially looks really hot. But this is probably like one of Brooke's hottest episodes.
Yeah,
too.
like all the gargoyles look super hot. I would suck all their dicks at gunpoint for 25 cents.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like a thing Eric Andre said. I just felt like throwing it in there because I thought it was funny, but it was weird.
Okay, so the two of them go to the Pac Museum, and they take Bronx with them.
They
Thank
carry
God,
him.
they're letting Bronx do something for once.
Yeah, they're doing
take
something
a drink
with
every
Bronx.
time they allow Bronx to fucking do anything on this show.
Okay, good. That way they'll never drink when they're listening to this podcast.
Exactly. We're a dry podcast here. We don't indulge in alcoholism of any kind.
We don't. Yeah, we don't drink. Okay, so as they're leaving, Goliath is just like, yeah, there's no way they're gonna go back to the studio.
Yeah, so they're like, let's head over to the guy behind the pack, which is
they just let Brooklyn and Lexington go. They're like, yeah, there's no way.
Yeah, they're like, those two are fucking stupid. But let's go over here and do like the real work, which is cute.
Okay. Because, like, they're like, let's go to the source, and they're all, like, super dramatic, like, Xanatos.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to talk about this coming scene a lot.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
no.
Are you ready?
Oh, no, we made it here? We made it here already?
Are you ready?
No! Well, yes, but no! If that makes sense.
I'll start it, and then you can take over. So, okay.
I took a lot of notes, so
we're
just putting that out there. I am prepared,
all right.
But I'm gonna let you do your thing.
Well, okay, we're back on the airship. Coyote's putting the ship into autopilot so that he can go back and flirt with everybody. So the camera pans like to the back of the ship where the pack is hanging out. I'll just say Dingo's mustache is not present in this shot,
yeah,
and this will be a continuing issue in this episode. His mustache is there.
Okay, so
and then
this episode is so fluid and perfect in the animation, but the one nitpick is that there are these cursed frames that pop up once in a while where Dingo has no mustache, and it's honestly disturbing.
I think he's wearing a clip-on, is what the story has to be. Like in those shots where you don't see the mustache, it's just, the clip-on fell off, and he puts it back between shots.
Okay,
so Coyote gets up, he goes towards the back. He has a distinct bulge and a very toned ass.
I put in my notes that his crotch and bulge are very eye emoji in this scene.
And they take up the majority of the frame as he's heading back there.
Coyote starts off with, I'm gonna take over.
Yes,
I got this. Yeah. I got this.
Go ahead.
Okay. Coyote's like, okay, so here's the plan, and then Wolf steps up, pushing Jackal and Dingo to the side.
They're in his way, and he just shoves both of them. It's hilarious.
And Wolf is like, hold up a second, Dogface. Ooh. I'm the hot male lead in this group. There can only be one.
Uh-huh.
That's not what he says.
He says, who died and left you in charge?
And Coyote responds with, I've appointed myself leader in Fox's absence. Wolf chuckles, and then he just kind of smirks. He's like, congratulations, while showing off his tits.
Oh my god. And he's flexing, so much here.
He's flexing. You're flexing, Wolf. You're flexing. And then
literally.
He's like, congratulations, you just made the shortest term in office.
Oh.
I think that's about word for word.
His muscles are so big here. God, and the tank top is barely even covering them.
I'm sweating right now. I feel like I'm in the hot seat right now just thinking about it.
He's so cocky, and he has so much swagger, and he's showing off his machismo. Just because this is now it's a dominance thing between him and the new guy.
He's flexing. That's his first instinct at seeing Coyote in charge. He's flexing. He's expressing himself.
Yeah, because his first instinct when seeing a strong man is to fuck him and establish himself as the real alpha. He always does this every time.
Yes, this is a subtextual way of just his closeted gay ass just flirting with men.
This is the only way he knows how to flirt.
Yes, this is it. Okay, so after he makes that statement and flexes his big old fat muscle tits, Dingo steps in and he's like, "Hey,
Dingo.
Back off, Wolf! You don't know what you're dealing here with here, mate."
Okay, but he presses himself against
as he does that,
side,
he runs up and grabs Wolf's shoulder as he says this, and Wolf instinctually is just he has this really disgusted look, he's caught off guard because of the familiarity of all the times he and Dingo have probably fucked, and he's like, And, like, his body's first reaction is probably, like, not now, Dingo. Just, like, instinctual gay panic. Like, he doesn't want the others, like, to see, like, him walking so closely with Dingo like that.
Like, okay, this is my read for this episode. I feel like Dingo in this ep, like, really cares about Wolf, and, like, he's gone out of his way to, like, rescue Wolf. Like, I feel like he missed Wolf a lot. And, like, I think he's realized that, like, he has feelings for him, but, like, Wolf's reaction here is just, like, so, like, grossed out. He's like, ugh, you're showing that you actually like me? We're men! Like, don't you understand that? And he's just like, get off of me, you weirdo. So, like, I feel so bad for Dingo here, because he's putting himself out there.
And I feel bad for Wolf because he's locked himself into, like, such, like, a stupid mental cage to where he can't really get past, like, the void. He can't, like, he's never gotten in touch with his own sexuality, so he can't get in touch with his emotions.
No. His own emotions freak him out, so he's trying to mask it behind this, I'm gonna wrestle you down and...
Okay, listeners, you see why I like this scene so much? You see why I like this whole sequence so much? This is just, like, this is peak Wolf.
Yeah, like, right this is, like, the scene that establishes, like, all of our characterization of him.
Yes. And, okay, so... And then after Dingo tries to stop Wolf, Jackal off to the side is like, yeah, good point. When's the last time you tore a gate off its hinges? And Wolf's like, you'll have to settle for me tearing this jerk in half, whilst flexing his muscles gaily.
I just want to say, like, this is really fun. Because, like, Dingo is coming from, like, a place of caring, and, like, he's urging caution, because he generally doesn't want anything bad to happen to Wolf, while Jackal is just, like, being a dick. And I think that's, like, a really funny difference between them.
I think this not only says a lot about Dingo, that he's a caring person, but it also says a lot about Wolf, that he's headstrong, he doesn't think things through at all, and I don't think Wolf is a predominantly violent person. That's my theory.
Really?
I think... That is my theory, because later in this episode, you see him holding a gun. He's like, what the fuck do I do with this? And literally, when he's being attacked by the gargoyles, he doesn't go for the gun. He just keeps jumping and bear hugging.
Yeah, that's like, always his go-to.
He's never had any confirmed kills in the show.
I think he just wants to, like, squeeze other men.
Yes, yeah. And just putting that out there, I don't think Wolf, despite being so descended from the Vikings or whatever, I think Wolf is probably just, like, the most recent in this lineage, and he's just, like, super... I think he's just a very pent-up individual.
Yeah, like, I feel
gay-coded.
Like, he really wants to engage in, like, domination play with other men, but yeah, like, maybe he hasn't killed anybody, unlike Dingo, who's been in several Central American wars, so he's definitely killed people.
Yeah, Dingo's definitely killed people.
And Hyena's definitely killed people.
I think on the wiki, it did say that Wolf was an active mercenary before he joined the pack. Maybe he has, I don't know. I just know that there are several instances in the show that kind of, like, fulfill this theory in my mind that he's not actually, like, a psychopath like Hyena or Jackal.
Interesting.
That he's just a headstrong moron that has extreme pent-up sexuality and body dysmorphia.
So much. There's another scene in his only, like, focus episode, which is another favorite episode of mine. You're probably gonna hate it when we get there, but I love it. I can't wait to get to it, because I know how much you will enjoy it. So maybe I'll be able to look at it with new eyes.
It's literally near the end of season 2, so it's gonna be a long
Wait,
run.
is it the pie episode?
Yes, it's the pie episode.
No, I am looking forward to that one.
Yes.
I'll be able to talk about all of that guy's appearances. That guy, whose name I definitely didn't forget.
Vinny.
Yeah, Vinny! We love
Vinny. Okay, but there's the scene at the beginning of that episode where Wolf is, like, just, like, wearing a trench coat in the rain, and, like, he literally...
like a flasher?
Well, yeah, kind of. Pretty much. He literally robs a guy's car by, like, hitting, like, the hood of his car with, like, the axe. And then you're thinking, like, oh god, he's gonna kill this poor guy. But then he just kind of, like, leaves him on the side of the road. He doesn't hurt him or anything. He just kind of steals his car.
He's not a bad guy. He's just, like, a bad guy. He's a bad boy.
He's just a dumb guy who makes bad decisions. Okay, so anyways, he's like, you'll have to settle for me tearing this jerk in half. While I also have to mention that a lot of his insults, tearing this jerk in half, and then later in the episode he says tearing someone inside out. Like they all sound like they all sound a little subtext.
Like anal
There's subtextually,
force.
yeah.
I mean,
Okay, so-
yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a reason he leans towards those sorts of insults.
So, he's flexing his muscles, and he's like, Cody's just like standing there with his ass like, double cheeked out, and he's like, "This is stupid, but I'll take care of this." On the inside, he doesn't say anything. So Wolf grunts, jumps forward, and Coyote squeezes Wolf's peck. Like we get a good close up shot.
Squeezes his tit.
Squeezes his peck, and Coyote he's doing what's been on my mind since the beginning of this whole episode.
Oh my god.
And in doing this, he zaps the crap out of Wolf before throwing him to the floor. And then Coyote responds with, "Want to see me use both hands?" Like, oh my god, he's gonna grab his titties with both hands.
So
Lord.
much swagger here.
He's gonna grab his titties
so
with both
much.
hands. So Wolf is like heaving his hefty man breasts as he's like getting up from the floor,
like a romance
and he's
novel.
like he's clutching his tit, and Wolf is just like not giving up because he's an idiot, and Wolf's all humiliated and can't stand it, and he's all like, "Oh, Coyote, huh? When I get through with you, they'll call you roadkill." And his pecs are still flexing so hard, like what the fuck, dude? This is porn. So it's like. It's practically porn at this point. So
This
his
scene
first
is
instinct.
porn for you. I know you've jerked off to it.
I have many times. Okay, so his first instinct after that's happening is just to jump forward and try to bear hug him again.
Which, like, if you know his hands are electrified, why would you go for? It's fine. It's fine.
And he's all cute about it too. He's like, "Gotcha."
He's
got a
so proud.
He's got
of
a
himself.
big smile on his face as he's like bear hugging this
It's
other
so
man.
pure that he's like, "Oh, I got this strong man. Now he's
I'm
mine.
in my element.
Oh, this is the part where I think where Jackal and Dingo like punching the air like behind them because they're like so into the fight now.
They're not like cheering or doing anything. They're just like punching the air.
Yeah, they're just punching the air. That's how men show that they're into watching a fight.
Yeah, so like I like this little close up it has on Wolf's face. I've used it in many GIFs like on Telegram and stuff. But, like he's got this like smirky face, then he like feels like something like in Coyote kind of like worrying up. And then, like, he has this, like, surprised look and then, like, looks at Cody. And, like, the fact that it's so close up on Wolf's face, it looks like he's fucking someone. But then, like, something happens and he's, like,
then something's fucking him.
Yeah,
like,
that's exactly it. That's exactly it. But anyways, all that happens is Coyote breaks out of the bear hug, no problem.
I don't even know how he does it. It's just sort of like he's just out of it. He's like the Jack in the Box, like doing.
And then Coyote breaks free from the bear hug, and then gets Wolf in like a little arm lock chokehold. And then sprays some knockout gas in Wolf's face, and Wolf gets all dizzy and drowsy, and just that monumental muscle man we just saw jump forward twice like an idiot, just face plants onto the ground with like this heavy thud.
Just done.
It's very erotic.
Like you can't see Looney Tunes style like Tweety birds flying around his head, but like that's basically where we're at right now.
In the Wolf sticker pack I made, I did edit those around his head. I love them.
When Wolf hits the floor, by the way, you see another shot of Dingo missing his mustache. I'm going to point out every single one.
Yeah.
Because I know that people care about that and need to know.
It's like a weird Easter egg of like animation errors. It's very cursed. Okay, so like after Wolf is like knocked out on the floor, Cody's like, don't feel too bad. I'm wearing battle armor after all.
That's a fair point.
Like, I guess like he's poking fun at the fact that Wolf is like half naked.
Oh, I guess that's what he was saying.
Or maybe he's like, or maybe he's like offering to like get naked with Wolf and try to fight again.
Oh my god. Maybe.
That'd be interesting. Yeah. But Wolf's unconscious, so he can't really hear any of this.
Hyena is like still turned on by everything. She's like, okay, masked man, you broke us out of stern. You got some nice moves. I'll give you that. You're even kind of cute. And then Jackal is like, but the pack doesn't follow just anybody. For the last time, who are you? And then
And
Coyote
then-
takes his helmet off and gasp.
Oh my god, it's
David
Xanatos! It's totally Xanatos!
I
Oh my
can't
god!
believe it.
And when they show the pack reacting to this, I'm sure Wolf is just still knocked out, so he doesn't get to have a reaction like the rest
No,
of
he
them.
didn't get to have a reaction shot. But Jack and Lahaina are immediately like, okay, we're gonna kill you.
He's taking a little nappy nap. Yeah, no, he's yeah, they're gonna kill him.
Because Xanatos is the one who got them
ready to
into
fight him.
prison
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the first
yeah.
place. So,
Yeah,
what
Jackal's,
they say, like,
no, Jackal's about to fight him, but again, Dingo interjects and has to hold him back.
okay,
And as
Dingo looks
Dingo
really
does
hot
this,
here, and like his
we
pecs
see
look
vivid
really big.
detail of his ass and balls.
Oh my
and pecs
god!
as he's
Yeah,
doing
his
this.
ass is so big. And
Oh my
round
god!
In this
Like,
part.
there's just those brief frames where his ass is like an apple, dude.
like, oh my
like-
god!
like,
I
oh my
didn't
God.
I didn't even know how fuckable he really was until like you
Well,
showed
you-
me this shot like this morning. I was like, holy
Like-
shit!
Dude, there's so much that happens in this scene. This might be, for me, this is like just like the hottest sequence in the show.
Everyone
I
is
think.
hot. Wolf is hot.
Yeah,
Dingo is
Wolf
hot.
is hot. Dingo's
Coyote's
hot. Coyote's hot.
Like, oh my god!
The twins are just kind of there, I guess.
I'm getting flustered. All right, we can get
Oh,
through
shit.
this.
Yes. Oh yes. We
Okay,
can do this.
Dingo, what does he say? He's like,
Dingo interjects and
he
informs them that it was
he blames
Fox.
Fox, yeah, for getting them to prison, but Xanatos is the one who got them out.
And Coyote's just like, yeah, Fox set that whole thing up, and the gargoyles are our real enemies. And there's like a whole like drawn out scene where he says that, but I
Yeah,
figured, you know,
and he
just
says, let's see, they
summarize
put
it.
me in jail too once. I don't know about you, but I don't intend to let them go unpunished. Which,
That's
like,
like unpunished, like
unpunished. He wants to punish the gargoyles.
That's some lingo right there. That's some BDSM stuff.
I
he's
mean,
into.
I'm not saying that
Considering
I
what we
didn't think about that when he said that line.
Considering what we see, like near the end of the episode, with the way like Goliath and him are fighting, like I'd say, yeah, punish is like definitely on his mind.
These lines are also really funny when you know, like, it was Xanatos who ordered Fox to send Jack LaHaina to assassinate him, like, in the first place.
Yeah,
Like, he's been
yeah,
playing
it's-
them for so long by this point.
Yeah,
That, like, it's just, it's
they're
really
all
funny.
just pawns. They're all just pawns. It's fine.
There's another really funny scene. Okay, so Coyote's like, he crouches down to like get something out of a compartment, and you see the entire pack, including Wolf, who's just like back on his feet all of a sudden.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
just
he has-
like
he
creeping
woke
up on him to like murder him, and it's really funny. But then he's just like, what does he say? Oh, he's like, but first, I thought you might want to slip into something more comfortable, and he like tosses a bunch of duffel bags at them. Which for
And
some
I
reason works, and they look into the duffel bag instead of just like jumping him.
I like how Wolf catches the duffel bag, and when he sees it, it's just like him holding like an object like that with those big arms. It's just like it drives me crazy in like a primal kind of way. if
Imagine
that
what
makes
else he
sense.
could hold with those big arms, like you.
My dick.
Yeah, like your dick.
Like my dick's pretty big. I gotta say it. Like it's like, you know, it's hard
Is
to
it as
walk
big as a
around.
duffel bag? Because that's really big.
I'll have to test it out later.
Okay.
But I think so. I don't know.
Okay, are you ready for? I'm gonna let you have
Okay,
this coming.
Yes,
moment.
please.
I'm not
Okay,
gonna take this away from you.
So Wolf undoes his bag and sees his old outfit and just smirks looking at it. He's probably like, yeah, it still smells the same too.
Oh my god.
And then Coyote is proposing to them that they target the gargoyles. And Wolf reasonably is questioning how they're going to do it. And as he's questioning this, he rips his tank top off. Like, it's in pieces now. And his tits just like, they just bulge forward. Like,
They
crazy.
explode out of his chest. Like they're so big here.
Like, what the fuck, dude?
They
I wanna
emerge like a
I
butterfly.
need to know who animated this scene. I need to know whose creative decision was it to animate this fucking scene. Like, you drove me fucking insane with this scene right here. Like, oh my fucking god, it happens so fast. It happens in like in a matter of like 4
It's
or
like
5
a
on-screen
split
seconds.
second. And like, okay, every time I and another person have watched this episode, and like there's always a visceral reaction of like, why the fuck did he just do that? Like, it always gets a response from, like, everyone, every single time.
I love it, and it's because
It's
I
so
have
much.
hyperfixated on Wolf to the point where I can tell you why he did it.
Why? Tell me.
He is gay. He's very gay and likes showing off his muscles.
Okay,
whenever the opportunity arises.
I think the reason is because he's just been given a new outfit. So, like,
well, it's not really new.
this is his way of being like, well, I don't need this, this sweaty tank top anymore. So, like, he just rips it off his body to show.
Finally, I can put that prison bod of mine to good work. You know?
Which I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like he might still need, like, a civilian disguise. But I guess, he doesn't feel that way.
We see him use a civilian disguise in that one comic you sent me. And I love that panel so much because it's like, are we sure? Like Brooklyn and Lex are looking down. They're like, are we sure that's Wolf? And Lex is like, yeah. Who else would wear those furry galoshes in the summer?
Those furry galoshes. It's like he's wearing like a partial, like a fursuit, just walking around.
Yeah, it's like a trench coat and like a hat, and he looks so he looks so like suspicious.
Oh my god. Okay, so Wolf has a huge chest. Have we mentioned that yet?
Yeah, and as he's doing this, Hyena is just off to the side. We see her in the frame, and she just kind of looks to the side like, ugh, again, Wolf.
How many times has he done this?
Okay, you have to put it into perspective. The pack were working together for a very long time. They all had sex with the same person except for Wolf, and they've probably changed in the locker rooms a number of times. They were in prison cells together. They have seen each other naked many, many times, and Wolf does not give a fuck, I think.
No.
Maybe he's got his own insecurities, but maybe he just likes the idea of these men seeing him naked. I don't know.
Maybe. Okay, another thing. Okay, it's like, I feel like on another level, it's like a shorthand symbol for just like pure like male like aggression.
Oh my god, my face just got super tingly, and do you know why? Because it just occurred to me. It occurred to me if we kept holding on that scene, we would have seen him change his pants.
Oh my god.
We would have seen them all just change into their clothes, including Wolf. Would he have ripped off his prison pants? He probably would.
It's probably.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
It's like a stripogram. He can just like they're easy tearaway pants.
Oh my god.
And he probably isn't even wearing any underwear beneath them. I'll give you a moment.
I'm like, my head's spinning.
Pro wrestlers also used to do this, like, frequently in the 80s and 90s. Like, I know Hulk Hogan would always, like, rip his shirt off just to show how much of a man he was. So, like, I think, they're trying to go, like, for that
There's definitely some similarity. Yeah, I think they should change Wolf's backstory from a mercenary. I'd like to think
pro
he was
wrestler.
Yes.
That would be hot.
Fits him.
And that would open up like so much fetish fuel for me. Oh my god.
Oh my god. That's my headcanon now.
So oh my, now I'm flustered. Oh my god. Okay. Also, he just lost like the alpha male fight to Coyote, so I think this is also a way for him to reassert his own masculinity. I might have lost that fight, but look, I still got all these big muscles. And I'm being, like, surly to Coyote, so, like, he might be the alpha now, but I don't have to like it, because it's...
I would drink his bathwater, dude. I would drink his bathwater. I would honestly fucking, like, lick up the dirt he walked on. Like, I'm so fucking, like... Wolf is just, like... This scene, man. This scene, just, like, my whole fixation.
It's, okay, it's really good. Like, I'll give it... I do need to clip it and put it on my YouTube channel, which, by the way, is man service with an exclamation point. If you search that, I got a YouTube channel now.
I already have it edited and framed. I can just send you the video file and you can upload it.
Sweet. I put up a bunch of videos every day. You all should follow it. And
I have that saved.
And like it.
Okay, let me just... I'm just gonna look for that really quick while we're in the middle of the podcast.
We don't need to do it now. It's fine.
It's fine, I guess.
I'm halfway through my notes. We're getting closer.
I'm halfway through mine too. I'm on page 8 of 16.
Okay, right, so Wolf says something like, how are we gonna find them? They're not exactly in the yellow pages.
as he's doing
Yeah,
what he
as
does.
as he's ripping his shirt off, stripping his body, showing his huge muscles. And Coyote says, like, we don't need to find them. They're gonna find us. And that's when the scene ends. Which is sad, because we were just about to see Wolf probably take off all the rest of his clothes, too.
I would probably donate a limb to see him completely naked, canonically, in the show. Okay, so anyways, next scene. Lex and Brooke are scouting out the studio from afar on the buildings.
And we're skipping. There's another scene in between those, actually.
Oh, okay. I'll let you cover that.
Okay, it's really fast. Goliath, Broadway, and Hudson fly over to Castle Wyvern.
Oh yeah, I didn't take any notes on that.
Okay, it's fine. Goliath throws open the doors in like typical Goliath fashion. I feel like he bursts into rooms a lot like this, and like they stomp into the main hall, all intimidating. And Owen is there, looking amazing, like he always does.
I love the way Goliath opens the door.
And just stomps on through.
No, he doesn't just stomp on through. Like, the door's just sitting completely still, and then it's just, like, fucking bursts open, and you see just Goliath's pissed off face, like, Big Dick is back in town.
He comes in like a hurricane. And Owen is probably, like, working his jaw, because he knows how Goliath passes on messages to Xanatos
People were doing, like, the meme of, like, that Shrek like scene where he like kicks the outhouse door open. Somebody once told me. That's what this scene reminded me of.
You should do that for our eventual YouTube page for the Loincloth Hour, which we still need to set up. Yeah. I was gonna do that.
I thought you already set it up.
No, I was gonna do it last week and like the week before. I'm gonna do it soon. Okay. It's gonna happen soon.
Okay,
everybody.
yeah, we'll take care of it. I remember now. Yeah.
Okay. But so. Goliath's all like, we're here to see Xanatos. And Owen just has this funny line. He says, alas, Mr. Xanatos is not here. It isn't him you want anyway.
Sorry, your Mr. Xanatos is in another castle.
Yes!
I'll let you go ahead. I'm sorry.
He says, anyway, your business, I believe, is with the Pack. As it happens, their social calendar shows them arriving at Pack Media Studios any time now. They're expecting you. Shouldn't you be there? And Goliath's all like, I'll speak to Xanatos later then. And they all just, like, leave.
He just, like, saunters out. Yeah,
and Owen's like, so sooner than you think, perhaps. So it's just like, okay.
I love how smirky Owen is in this whole episode. Like, he's very, like, he's kind of, like, got a sense of humor underneath it all.
I love him.
He's got like a very Delbert Grady kind of vibes, especially later during the whole phone call.
Yeah,
scene.
He has like one other good scene. Like he only has 2 scenes in this episode, but they're both really good.
Yeah, they're both really good.
Okay, so now we go to where Brooke and Lex are hanging out. They're scoping out Pack Studios.
They're at the studio, scouting it out, and they see that the cops are there waiting outside in case the Pack shows up.
Yeah, there's like 15 cop cars.
Lex is all like, the cops can have them after I'm through with them. And Brooks is like, hey, dude, I get how you feel, but you can't let it consume you. You got to remember what's important, family and protecting our home. And then Brooklyn even brings up the comparison regarding what happened with him and Damona, and he's dwelling on it, but he's learned from it.
Yeah, like he still feels that pain every time someone mentions Damona's name, he says.
Yeah, I forgot to put that in my notes. But Lexington, all grumpy, is like, you have your priorities and I have mine. And Brooklyn mentions afterwards that he's worried about him. And gotta say, like, I put this in my notes, but I said it earlier, but I'll say it again. This is the most I've been able to relate to Brooklyn.
Yeah, because he sort of sees how, like, torn up Lex gets every time the Pack comes up. Like, this isn't the first time Lex has gone off the handle like this around them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like this exchange a lot. So I just have 2 things. One, because it shows, like, gay pettiness can't be trumped by sentiment, and that's, like, a universal thing. 2, I think it also foreshadows, like, Lex's dark side. Because we've been shown repeatedly that, like, Lex has this animosity in him that's, like, greater than I think he's willing to acknowledge. And this is, like, a first, like, big hint that it's there. Like, we'll see it more in future tense, of course. And, like, we also see
it straight up gets revealed in future tense that he's intelligent enough to do either great things or... like, honestly, Lex is a very
he feels so much bitterness, like, a lot of the time. So I just think that's interesting. Like, like Brooklyn is like trying to steer him away, and like they've both had like similar character paths on like them getting betrayed by someone, but like Lex is unwilling to like let go of it. Like Brooklyn like has done a better job of doing.
I think what we see in future tense is a variant of Lexington if he has like no like moral guide or advisor like the ones he has now.
Yeah, probably. Oh, poor Lex.
Anyways, back to the present time in this episode. He notices that the cops are departing.
Okay,
and,
where the fuck are they going?
I don't
like,
know.
Why do they all just leave?
Maybe they got another call. I don't know.
Like,
I don't
is it
know
their
how cops
bedtime?
work.
Like, why are they leaving?
I don't know.
It's never explained.
Maybe it's all according to plan. Maybe Xanatos tipped them off.
But like,
I don't know.
It bugs me.
Whatever.
I wish Elisa at least was there. I wish that Elisa was there.
Elisa shows up, I think, one time in this episode just to tell them the pack escaped, and
that's her only moment. But it's fine. We have so many other characters.
Yeah, we do. So Lex decides to go check it out now that the cops are departed. Every time I say Lex, like my Alexa to the side lights up.
Oh
and
no!
It's making me nervous.
Every time I say Lex, I think of the old like '90s show on the Sci-Fi Channel that was called Lex.
Wow. Well, is the Sci-Fi show like coming up every time you say it? Like, is it happening? I mean, is it premiering on your television?
It is in my mind.
Well, okay, but I just don't want my Alexa to interrupt the podcast.
That would be funny if it did.
It would be, yes, but I unplugged it just now, so we're not gonna have any of that, Alexa.
Good.
Okay, so once inside, they notice that the whole place is empty, but Bronx is kind of like sniffing the air as if something's wrong. Then the floor just straight up opens.
This is insane.
A bunch of light comes out of the floor, like the holy fucking like Grail is about to fucking like make his first appearance in centuries.
Yes.
And like the pack ship just like rises up in this flurry of smoke and light and earthquakes.
Like, I have so many questions. Like, how did it get here? Did no one see it arrive? Why aren't the cops here to see? Like, I don't understand how it got here, why this is happening.
I love the next scene, so it makes up for it. So, so the packed ship rises from the fucking ground, and then we see just, like, Wolf just, like, walking out.
Of, like, this huge, like, light. It's, like, encounters of the third kind.
The way he's walking is so stupid,
okay,
though.
He has this, like, huge smile fixed to his face the whole time, too. Like,
he's, like, walking down, just, like, strutting his shit, like, yeah, I'm hot shit, look how big my dick is.
Like, the camera, like, closes in on his face, and it's just like, yeah, gonna fuck me some gargoyles now.
It's so stupid. I was laughing so much. Oh my god.
Imagine this being, like, your first day out of prison, and you're just like, yeah.
I was like ascending, like you know Wolf has thought about this moment every day since he's been in prison.
Oh, he's just jerked off thinking about this moment. He's jerked off a lot.
And like Brooklyn sees Wolf like walking out, he's just like, I gotta say, they know how to make an entrance.
Oh my god, yeah, because he's probably checking out Wolf's dick. He's like, wow, it really is big.
Yeah, I mean, like, God, even in his premiere episode, Wolf's bulge was like, it was like David Bowie Labyrinth big.
Okay, Lexington, like, immediately is going into on the attack, though. Like, his eyes flare, like, huge, like, white, like, massive beams of light coming from his fucking face. He's gonna jump on Wolf. Brooke, like, has to hold him back. I don't know why he's doing that. Like, Brooke, let Lexington fucking murder Wolf. Like, just let him do it. But then all the other pack members, they come out. They're all, like, smirky and evil.
They have, like, this little, like, group photo that they kind of pose for.
They're all in profile. They're amazing.
Yeah.
So, they're all wearing, like, new pack threads.
After they all come out, Lex immediately just jumps on Wolf.
Take out the big dog.
And I guess this is payback for, like, when Wolf was, like, bear hugging him in episode 6.
Oh, I remember that. That was hot.
It was hot, yeah, but now this is hotter.
Yeah, now the shoe is on the other foot. Just Lexington, pretty much dominates Wolf, like, this whole time.
It's not even, like, dominating, because Wolf's such, like, a terrible fighter. Every time, it's just, their whole, like, thing here is just, like, Wolf tries to jump forward and grapple him, and Lexington dodges.
It's like the
it's
only
just that
move that
over
Wolf
and over
knows
and
how
over
to
again.
do.
You can tell these are two gay men fighting.
Okay,
You can tell who's the top and who's the
Wolf has
bottom.
no experience fighting, like, smaller, faster fighters, because he's so fixated on only fighting big men like him. So he doesn't even know how to fight Lex.
This is why Lexington kicks his ass,
He
problem.
completely kisses. He
Like,
bears
Wolf-
Wolf's ass and spanks his ass in this fight, and it's
Wolf,
it's
is
pretty
so
hot.
dominated this whole sequence. Okay, so, like, there's a lot going on in this fight sequence.
Do you want me to go over it? Because I think I took notes on, like, everything.
I took notes on everything, too,
Okay.
but you probably took more than I did. You were probably more articulate with your notes.
Okay, let me
usually
find it. Okay, so, like, first thing, Lex, like, jumps on Wolf. They're, like, gay wrestling around. Brooklyn immediately is like, oh, great. Yeah, this is a great plan. We're all immediately just going to get our asses kicked here. But he jumps in, too, because they're bros.
Jackal does, like, a gay little front flip somersault to kick Brooklyn.
I'm not even there yet. Okay, but before that happens...
Okay, whatever.
Okay, but first, Brooklyn... I just have to point out, Brooklyn jumps on Dingo, and it looks like their faces come together, and, like, they just, like, are making out in the middle of the fight. But in an aggressive way.
That's an interesting, like, mental image in my head.
Also,
just like
Dingo's mustache is missing again.
It's fine.
It's
it
the
came
third
off
time.
in Brooklyn's mouth. Like, Brooklyn probably ate it on accident with his beak. I have the mental image in my mind of just like Dingo just like trying to work with Brooklyn's like long ass like gargoyle beak tongue.
I feel like Dingo would be like willing to try.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
absolutely.
Try and make things happen there. I feel like he'd be the first one to be like, so Brooklyn, have you ever tried using that beak of yours for a rim job? And Brooklyn would be like, no, what's a rim job? And then like Dingo could explain it, and they could try it out together.
It's just like an immediately jump cut. Oh my god.
I'm sorry. Hiron just walked in, and I didn't know he was here.
Hi,
Hiron.
We're recording the Loincloth Hour.
Huh?
You're still recording?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're early. Welcome. You can be here. It's fine.
Join us in this.
Would you like to join us?
Sure.
Okay. Bronx jumps on Hyena. Like, everyone's fighting. Ever the sub, like, Brooklyn finds himself, like, in the little spoon position, like, immediately with Dingo. And that's when Jackal does that insane flip kick that you said, which is, like, there's so much.
I like the frames. I like how it looks like he's kind of like a pole dancer.
That's what I put, too, in my...
Yeah.
It's like a stripper pole maneuver, and he's, like, arching his back, like, cat-like over it, and then he just, like, does this flip, and he, like... sends Brooklyn fly. Like, it happens so fast. And you're like, you don't even know what the fuck happened at first.
If they ever bring back Gargoyles, they need to just hire me and just let me do, like, the PAX backstories, and I'll put that Jingo at one... Jackal, not Jingo, Jackal.
He was a stripper.
Yeah, well, no, I do kind of want to do Dingo as the male porn star.
Yeah, well, Dingo canonically is a porn star. At least I feel like I have made it canonical.
I feel like he's done porn. I know that Dingo was also a mercenary. There's like and a thief or whatever.
Okay. Jackal was a new backstory. Okay. Dingo was a porn star. Jackal was a stripper. Wolf was a pro wrestler. We've got it all worked out now.
Okay. Hiron wants to know if he can start a call in the Goliath's Bobble chat.
Yeah. How do you want to do it? Do you want to start a new call?
Yeah. So we'll do that really quick. We'll keep recording. Don't stop recording. Everything is fine.
I'm not
Everything's
stopping.
good. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's do it. Let's transition.
Okay.
Hi.
So, everyone, we are now joined by Hiron, who happened to walk in as we are recording from his work. So now we have a third host for the remainder of this episode, which he has not watched, by the way.
We do.
I'm sure you remember things
Pretty
that
much.
happened in it.
Where are we in the episode?
We're at,
There's a fight sequence.
Yeah, so,
That
okay,
doesn't narrow
the
it down.
Pact has escaped from prison. Lex and Brooklyn went to Pact Media Studios to, like, find them, and now the Pact's, like, airship is there, and the Pact all came out, and they're like, and so they're all just fighting now.
Oh, okay, so
And Coyote is, like, here.
yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have to find where I was again. Okay,
I
insane
believe
flip
in you.
kick. Right, that's where I am.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
Brooklyn
we were
gets kicked.
Yes.
Hyena starts like choking Lex from behind. Bronx like switches to like Dingo. Brooklyn's back on his feet. He's rescuing Lex by punching out Hyena. Like there's so much happening. Brooklyn did look like super muscular in that one shot. Like he reminded me of Goliath actually. Like the way he delivered that punch.
Yeah, the way all the motions were similar, the
Yeah.
characteristics and
Like
everything
I feel like
else.
he's been learning how to fight from Goliath.
Yeah.
As all that's happening, Coyote like rises out of the top of the ship and just like watches all like the madness.
No, the way he
happening.
rises up is so like it looks like he's like Kanye West about to like start like a new concert or whatever. Like everything's like Daft Punk or Kanye West
Oh
or
my
something.
God.
That's what it reminded me of.
I love it.
Yes,
Also, okay,
yeah.
this is the part where like you see that like Wolf and Lex are still fighting each other, but Wolf is just like squatted down, like making faces at Lex, and like that's all he knows how to do right now. Just Lex keeps dodging like his bullshit.
This is like his battle ritual. This is like how he. This is like a mating dance for him. It's fine.
Bronx attacks Coyote, who's at the top of the ship. I don't know where the fuck Bronx
Yeah.
came from, how he got up there, but
Oh yeah, he has ways.
it doesn't matter
So-
because Coyote basically like throws him through a wall, and Bronx is out of the fight after that. Which
Yeah.
sad face. Wolf keeps trying to grab Lex, but Lex is too slippery for him. Meanwhile, Brooklyn wrecks Hyena like a second time because she tries to slice him with her claws, but he keeps dodging now. Like they're holding their own pretty well here. Jackal has
Okay,
this
I
funny
like-
line. He's like, "That's no way to treat a lady," and Brooklyn says, "That was no lady."
I like that scene during this fight where Hyena's like about to like decimate like Bronx or Lex, I forget who it was, and like Brooklyn just taps her on the shoulder and she like looks around and she's got like a surprised Pikachu face as like Brooklyn punches her.
I feel like they've
That's
done
what-
that more than once in this show. The old like tap
That's
on the
what I
shoulder and then
noticed,
punch
yeah.
maneuver.
Yeah, it's a classic. It's hot. It's it's like that's a very superhero.
It is kind of hot.
Yeah.
That's also the part
So-
where Brooklyn was like really muscular. Is that shot after he taps her?
Yeah, that is it. Yeah, I was just more focused.
Okay, so
on
right
having
after
a
that,
stupid
right
surprise
after
Pikachu
that,
face.
Dingo throws like an electrical thing, like a disc
Oh,
on Brooklyn, and then
yeah,
he's like
yeah,
electrocuted.
Brooklyn gets electrocuted again.
Again!
Take a drink.
Again!
Take a drink. Yes.
So like
He's
Dingo, so like the pack knows about like Brooklyn's electro tank, so they're like, okay, we know his weakness. Like all the blood will rush down to his dick if we do this to him, so he'll just like be knocked unconscious.
Yeah, like they probably know that. They probably read it in the Daily Tabler or some shit like
Yeah, the
that.
Daily Time. Can't believe you remembered that.
Yeah, I was pointing that out earlier when you were talking about Hyena not knowing how to read. I'm like, wait, no, she read the Daily Tabler.
Oh, that's true. She did read the Daily Tattler.
Yeah.
She
but
reads
you were-
like
we were
softcore.
We were
porn
talking
novels.
about other stuff, but yeah, no, she absolutely not even like softcore. I feel softcore. I feel like true
softcore,
psychopaths.
hardcore, whatever.
I feel like true psychopaths only like look at softcore stuff.
Yeah, I feel like she'd be a big fan of like the Hannibal TV series. Do you think Hyman's attainable?
I love that show. Like that's another show with great gay subtext in it, even if it's like toxic.
Yeah, but she'd like all the like the flesh eating. Is where
There's
I'm
not
really
a lot
going
of
with
there's
this.
not really a lot of flesh eating because
She'd complain
Hannibal
about
always
that. She'd complain that there's
Hannibal-
not enough.
Hannibal always cooks his meals before he eats them. So
Oh, do you think she'd eat it raw?
yeah, I feel like she would.
Yeah, you're probably
No,
right.
Hannibal is very like refined and intelligent, and he's like
Oh,
he's
so
kind of like David
Xanatos would like
yeah,
that.
he's exactly like Xanatos in that show, and I love it. It's great.
Okay.
Okay.
Lexington is the last one standing here. He makes like a "come at me, bro" gesture to Wolf, who charges
Wolf?
in like an idiot
And Wolf's-
again.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
That's all he knows how to do.
And then like his leg gets like grabbed by Lex's tail, and he like gets flipped over and lands on his ass. And
Yes.
Wolf, he says something like,
I love that. I love that little motion Lex does. He's like, ooh, which way am I gonna go next?
"Oh my
Uh-oh.
god, yeah, like he's playing with Wolf
like
now."
he baits Wolf, and then like he trips Wolf with his tail, and then Lex is all, you fell.
This
But
is like
gets
Wolf
up.
is suffering like a serious case of the Worf effect in this episode, which if
Yeah,
people don't
well,
know is
no,
like when the
no,
biggest, strongest
yeah.
guy on the team is like easily dominated, and like it makes the like the new character look stronger. Like in this case, it happened when he fought with Coyote, but now it's happening
you
again
do say that.
with Lexington.
You say that, and I kind of agree, but I also think that Wolf just sucks at fighting in general, and it shows in every single one of his battles.
So really, it's the Wolf effect, not the Worf effect.
Well, yeah, I just think
Like
it's very
the
in
big guy
character
just
for
can't
Wolf.
fight very well, actually.
Yeah. Well, that's because he's not like really evil. He's just like a closeted gay, and he just like vents it all out by handing it out with evil.
Well, hopefully one day he'll be an uncloseted gay with Dingo.
Yeah.
So Wolf says,
Yeah.
"I'll turn you inside out."
No, he
With
says,
my
"You
dick."
miserable lizard." He says, "You miserable
You
lizard."
miserable
I'll
lizard.
turn you
Yeah,
inside
whatever.
out.
But then
And
Lex
it's like, babe, your
punches him
insults are
out.
sounding like really okay.
Lex punches
Blah, blah,
him.
blah, blah,
Lex is
blah.
kicking his ass here. Until Coyote lands behind Lex, and he points his, like, "Behold the power of vertigo" gun at Lex, and, like, Lex sees, like, fucked up shit, and then he just, like, gets knocked out.
So that's a hypnosis kink, right?
Maybe?
Kind of. Like
Probably.
it causes the subject to go in like a severe like acid trip level. Like like earlier in the episode at the beginning, we literally saw it cast on a guard, and then the guard saw visions of his own fingers melting. Then he's just like on the floor as just like kind of like this like he's just fucked up from it. But in this case, Lexington is just simply just goes really dizzy and knocked out. I guess it has a different effect on humans compared to gargoyles.
I don't know. Well, I do know he lands in a heap with Brooklyn, which I always like. You know, like the comic book covers when you see like the whole team has been defeated and they're all just like laying in a pile together. Like,
Yeah.
I always thought those were like really horny, and this is basically
Yeah,
that. They're just like
this is basically
laying together,
that.
like groaning, defeated.
Yeah, I think we definitely have mentioned this on the podcast a few times. How that's a thing
Probably.
that happens.
Oh, and Jack has
I
a
know
really
we-
stupid line. He says,
Yeah,
"Nighty
he's really creepy and suggestive about it too. He's
Don't
like,
let the
nighty night,
bed
don't let
bugs
the bed
bite."
bugs bite. They're all just like looking over them, except for like Wolf, who's probably just like yeah, still on the fucking floor again.
Probably, because that's like laid him out, and now he's like, "No,
He did.
Now I have to let Lex fuck me later." Damn.
He probably, you know what? He probably power bottomed Lex at some point between scenes.
Probably, because like now it's a point of honor. Like he lost the fight, so now he like has to take Lex's dick. Like he doesn't want to, of course, but like that's what men do.
Yeah, that's like I think that's a very Wolf thing to do. So
Yeah.
we transition from that scene to Goliath, Broadway, and Hudson entering the studio looking for Lex and Brooke and Bronx.
But no
And
one's there.
Hudson walks up to an obvious hole in the wall with all the fucking bricks on the floor, and he's like, "There was a struggle here." And I'm like, I love you, Hudson. I love you, but no fucking shit, Sherlock.
Like, yeah, thanks, Sherlock Holmes. Like,
Like, there's like everything's like fucked up and like broken. I think there was.
then the phone
Okay, so
rings.
the random phone on the wall rings.
yeah, the
This
phone
scene
has
always-
not been damaged. The phone is fine.
This scene with the random phone reminds me of the random phone from the movie Stalker. Andrei Tarkovsky's Stalker, which is a brilliant movie, one of my favorite films of all time. And there's like a scene where they're like trying to get to the zone, which is like this area with intense radiation, and they're going through all these like dangerous areas to try and get there. And there's a scene where they get close, and like this random phone on the wall rings. It's like someone from like the guy's past or something. And that's what that scene reminded me of, because I wasn't
You
expecting.
keep bringing up these spooky things. In
I
this
like
podcast.
spooky things.
Ooh.
I love spooky things. Like
Me
that's a
too.
thing. Yes, yes.
Okay, well, the phone ring. It's not a stalker. It's
As far as no, it is.
well, I mean, it
pretty
sort
much
of is. Okay,
Yeah.
Broadway's closes the phone. He looks over at Goliath to see if it's all right for him to answer it, and Goliath gives him a nod. So he picks it up, and he's all like, hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Ooh woo, ooh woo.
And okay, I'm just gonna read out this line. Okay, it's Owen on the other end. Our beautiful Owen. This is the other scene of the episode. And he says,
Yeah.
"Good evening. Broadway, is it? I've been instructed to invite you to an intimate soiree the pack is having tonight. If you and your friends are free around midnight, please consider attending. On the oil tanker, a Toshiana Maru, in the middle of the bay. I believe some of your party are already in attendance."
And then he just like hangs up. It's like, okay, sure, Delbert Grady sounding ass over here.
I love
like,
how he
the
delivers
party
like every line that he
Okay,
gives.
so like The Shining, there's that freaky like waiter guy who's like the ghost of the guy who like killed himself or whatever, and he's like very like he speaks in metaphors too, just like this. He's like, oh, the party is all in the attendance, but your family seems to need some correcting, Mr. Nicholson. Oh wait, no, Mr. Torrance.
Mr. Jack Nicholson.
Mr. Jack Nicholson. He wasn't even in character. That was just him in the movie. They just filmed him doing his regular thing.
Oh
it's
yeah,
fine.
I believe it.
Okay,
so they know that the pack has Lex in Brooklyn and Bronze.
The Broadway slams the phone, and he's like, the pack has them.
Okay.
So
scene
we know
transition.
So
do you want to go forward? Okay. Sorry.
Bronx, Lex, and Brooklyn are down under the boat or bay or oil tanker ship, whatever you call it, and they're like surrounded by steel walls. Lex, when we cut to Lex, he's still knocked out, but he's waking up. Lex is on the floor, groaning and posed like some sort of like French girl as he's like moaning.
My God. Okay, this is the I didn't even know where the shot you showed me is from. Is it from this part?
Yeah, where he's like waking up. He's like, oh.
And you were like, I've never been so turned on by him. Does he just have a kink
Yeah,
for, like,
I mean,
men
okay.
laying and groaning?
Yeah, I do. I have.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So
Hiron just found the part and showed it to me. Apparently, he's watching along with us as we talk
it's
about
fine.
this.
I just finished rewatching the whole episode, so...
You're all
that
caught
was
up
fast.
now.
Well, I only started from the part where you were speaking, so I only had to watch the second half.
So Lexington jumps up and is like super surprised about where he is now. I guess he's just like, why am I groaning? I was in the middle of a fight.
Yeah, I was the Dom. It was hot. Now why am I here?
That's probably exactly what he was dreaming of. Was like
that's
him
probably
by the pools.
why he was groaning. He was having a wet dream about taking Wolf. Mouth, ass, like everything. Every part of it.
He had the wet dream of that thing I typed up earlier where it's like Lexington's by the poolside, he's got two hunky gargoyle men, and Wolf is like his servant.
That honestly was hot, though. And like
I
Wolf is
wanna-
like just in a collar and a jockstrap.
I want to write more about that at some point. But, yeah, no, okay. So, as soon as Lex wakes up, he's like, we almost had them. And Brooklyn is like, they were begging for mercy.
Then
also
he says,
sarcastic,
how come whenever
why am I relating so hard to Brooklyn this episode? Why can't he be more like this more often? And
Brooklyn is really good in this episode.
Yeah.
And he says, how come whenever you and I take Bronx out, we wind up like this? In some kinky
like, what
bondage
does that
scenario.
mean?
Like, they
What
always
does
end up
that
in bondage
mean?
somehow.
I guess.
This is the third time it's happened, so...
That's true. They got knocked
Like, whenever they do it with Broadway,
and...
they don't end up in
Oh
bondage.
yeah, that happened
like...
in the Macbeth... That happened in the Macbeth episode, where Brooklyn realized he had the electricity.
Yeah, like his defining moment for his sexuality.
Just about. Okay, so meanwhile, the pack's just on the top of the boat, ready for the gargoyles to appear. Go ahead.
I actually had something to say on the last scene. So the one thing I wanted to comment on is that scene is like really well animated. Like the squash and stretch effects they do. It's like they're slightly cartoony, but it really conveys the emotion.
And like Lex especially looks really hot in it. I don't know if you
We've
noticed
been,
that. He's like really,
this
like
whole...
he's small, but he's like beefy in this episode.
Yeah, this whole recording so far, we've just been commenting about how beautiful the animation is for this episode. And like I said, it's because it's a season 2 premiere, and you know they had a bigger budget, and they're like, let's start the show out.
It looks fantastic.
Well, I'm sure they were only supposed to be making like 13 episodes at this point.
Oh, because they went through so many issues for the production of the second season.
Yeah. Okay, so
just before we move on, Brooklyn, first he says to keep calm, because Goliath's going to go find them. But that actually makes Lex angrier, because, like, it's important to him that he do, like, pack things by himself for some reason. And, like, Goliath already sort of, like, refused to help him earlier as he sees it, so he's just, like, really mad about Goliath. And then he, like, really funnily just goes over and just starts banging, like, on the walls repeatedly. And Brooklyn just, like, sits there and sighs, because he's just like, why am I even here right now? And I just, like, laughed really hard at it. I just had to point
As
that
an
out.
older brother and part-time babysitter, I can relate to this scene hardcore.
He's just like, what am I going to do with this small day child who's with me? Like, this is...
Okay, so meanwhile, back on top of the boat, our favorite problematic faves are up there. They're waiting for the gargoyles, and Wolf is like holding that gun, like really unsure.
They
like,
all
how
have
the fuck
guns
does this...
now.
Well, yeah, but Wolf is holding the gun. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah, he's like, do I hit somebody with this? Like, what
And
what
you'll
do guns
notice,
do?
you'll notice as it pans to the right, it's kind of like he's pointing it at Dingo's asshole from that angle.
Oh, ooh,
Yeah,
bullseye.
But like, anyways, my point being, he looks like he's never picked up a gun before, or a gun like this.
Like, maybe he just prefers, like, hand-to-hand fighting. Like,
Okay,
you know,
but that's
man-to-man
literally it.
fighting.
That's literally it, I think, because, like, even though he has the gun now, he never uses it, like, even when the gargoyles show up.
I
So...
like that the pack's plan is just to all stand in a circle, facing out, and, like, just point their big guns into the fog. Like, that's
so
their only plan
stupid.
that they have. And just wait for
when
the
I
gargoyles to, like, show up.
Honestly, when I first saw this scene, I thought it was like daytime, and I was like, no, wait, that wouldn't make sense because of all the fog. But no, it's
Oh.
just nighttime fog.
Oh yeah, it's night fog. So, like, their visibility is, like, nothing right now.
Okay, and so we also pan to Dingo, who has a really hot back in this scene.
Yeah.
We see, like, just how ample his really tan golden back is.
This is,
and,
like, the only show that, like, the only
his-
episode, I mean, that, like, he actually gets butt shots in, and, like, it always looks
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, we see how ample his buttocks are, and
Toned,
then Dingo, as he's like aiming his gun at like nothing, he like turns around and he's like, "Think they'll come? They gotta know it's a trap." And Coyote responds with, "They'll come." And then immediately afterwards, we see the silhouettes of Hudson and Goliath coming in, and they sound and look like they're just like incoming missiles.
Yeah, and, like, they're dumb enough to, like, you know, do their gargoyle battle cry as they come in. But it turns out that was a feint, because as Goliath and Hudson are, like, dodging lasers that the pack is shooting at them, Broadway comes in from the other direction. Like, they actually had a plan this time, and, like,
he sneaks in,
it's so good.
and he attacks Wolf's asshole
He
while
does.
pushing Hyena and Jackal to the side as well.
like, he rims Wolf's ass and, like, fingers both Jackal and Dingo. Like, at this, like, he handles all their asses at once. Like, Broadway can be a service top if he really put his mind to
I
it.
think you are correct on that.
Yeah.
So Coyote jumps over Broadway to get a better flanking of Goliath and Hudson, I think, or whatever. I don't know what he's doing.
I don't really know. Like, Coyote goes up there, and then, like he just sort of takes
like
off, and Goliath, like, flies
the
after
way
him.
the way that he's running kind of looks like he's very, like, you know, not normal. Like he looks like a robot man.
Like,
running.
why do you think Goliath, like, goes after him in particular? Like,
Because he thinks it's Xanatos. Maybe? I don't
do
know.
you like that occurred to me too? But then, like, he's surprised at the reveal later. But, like, I do feel like maybe he does suspect that it is.
Well, I mean, granted, Coyote is the one that just shot a fucking laser at him while he was in the sky, so he just wants to make sure he knows where that guy is. Maybe,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Maybe
he
it's all
also
tactical.
just, like, he always seeks out, like, the rival leaders too, like, leader versus leader battle.
Yeah. So, Goliath tails Coyote down and as he's running off. Meanwhile, Broadway hears the banging coming from Lex.
Just hitting the walls over and
hitting
over
the
again
walls, and he heads in that
in a
direction.
hissy fit.
Wolf notices this and gets up and follows Broadway from behind. And what does he do? Is he gonna, like, try and shoot Broadway? Is he gonna,
Wolf
like,
is
try?
so bad in this whole, like, fight scene. He's so
No,
ineffective.
he's bad in general. That's my point.
Like,
he attempts to
This
tackle
episode
Broadway.
is, like, particularly, like, it's the Wolf effect. We've already discussed this.
I guess. I mean, I can't reiterate enough that Wolf is just an idiot. he attempts to tackle Broadway, but Broadway like moves out of the way, and I think he like hits his head on the valve, and it's like ouch.
Oh, that's the word. I couldn't think of the word for the thing for like the wheel that Broadway has to turn, but yeah, it's a valve.
Yeah, it's a valve. Yeah.
In my notes, I have like heavy wheel thing with chains on it, like pressurized.
Okay. I love
wheel.
that.
Okay.
I love that. So, Wolf's first instinct is like. He's so stupid. He's not a killer. He's not a
he seems so proud of him. He's always so proud of himself. He was like, I'm gonna sneak up on the big one.
Yeah, he didn't even try to
take him out.
He didn't even try to tackle him. He just walks up slowly and holds his hands out as he tries to grab him.
Like he's a Halloween monster.
He does this the whole fucking episode. It's just that's how he fights. That's how he attacks people. So meanwhile, Hudson off to the side. This is a really intense scene, by the way. It's another. It's another badass Hudson scene, which is why he's like my favorite gargoyle. And he's facing off with Hyena and Jackal, and notices Dingo's also behind him, so he's outflanked. And this is a very intense scene. We get several shots of like the three of them. We get shots of Hudson's eyes darting back and forth, and he's like plotting out the next move he's gonna make. And so Hudson, what he does is he draws his sword out, and then he just utters this line, and he's like, "Come on, then. We're none of us getting any younger." It's like
such a Hudson line.
The way he's beckoning them and the way he says it is so hot and badass with his voice purring and everything. I can't do it justice.
Like Hudson only gets like 2 lines in this whole episode, and like that's a good one though for him.
Yeah. This his technical first line of the second season?
He said something else like when they were all waking up at the clock tower.
Oh yeah. He's like there was a struggle here or something like.
Oh yeah, he also did say that. Yeah, so he said a few lines.
Yeah, but this one is better. The music even stops for a second too as he says that, and as an editor, seeing this scene. As an editor, seeing this scene, for me, that's just like, yep, that's a trailer moment. Like, if you're making a trailer for this next season of Gargoyles, you have to cut the music for a split second, have him say that scene, then show the epic montage.
Yeah, of Hudson just wrecking all these guys.
Just like, I don't know, if you're making a trailer for the second season or just this episode, then yeah. This is the editor in me talking. This isn't just like Syd. This is like editor shit.
It's a well-edited episode.
Yeah, that too.
So okay, Dingo like makes the first move so he like dives for him, but Hudson just like jumps over him, and Dingo like slides on like his big pecs like.
And he like slides across the ground.
Then Jackal attacks, and Hudson like slices off like the fingertips of his claws.
He literally decimates like Jackal's claws with one swipe with the sword. Like Hudson is in full Ronin mode right now.
Yeah, like I love when Hudson's a badass and they let him be a badass.
I know. I love him.
So then he just like picks up Hyena and like throws him on Dingo. Now they get to have a moment or like, oh, they're both defeated.
He picks up Jackal by the collar, lifts him up, and throws him, not Hyena, Jackal.
Oh, sorry,
on top
I got
Dingo.
confused.
And it is also the second time in this episode that Jackal was lifted up by the collar because we saw that earlier with Brooklyn during their fight.
Oh, did we?
Yes.
We like to lift up these twumps around here.
I take notes on some things.
Oh, lifted, being hefted over shoulders, butts in the air, that sort of thing.
Hyena goes in for the attack next, but like
she just only ends up.
And she lands on his wing, and she only ends up just kind of mildly scratching his wing, and he just, like, deflects and pushes her away, and she lands on top of Broadway nearby, who was getting the valve undone, and they both land in a pile of barrels. Hyena's on top of
has, like,
Broadway.
A really funny face when he got hit by her from behind, and then, like, they both, like, fall over. And the valve finally is, like, just, like, the impact, like, just knocks it completely, like, out of the floor.
I guess. And then he's just, like, stuck under Hyena on a bunch of barrels, and Broadway's just like, yeah, okay, thanks for the help.
And you see that one of the barrels starts leaking
spilling
oil. Yeah, so that'll be important very soon.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Lex, Brooke, and Bronk are now free thanks for the efforts of Broadway.
Yeah.
Lex immediately just tackles Dingo, and he does this, like, velociraptor screech as he does it, too.
He does. It also looks sort of like he's going in for a kiss on Dingo. Like, he's making out with all the pack. He's asserting his dominance.
First Wolf and then Dingo. Like, Lex has felt up, like, all the hunky Pac-Men, and I'm, like, kind of jealous.
Yeah, he's fucking fierce this episode. He's not taking any shit from anybody anymore.
Meanwhile, Coyote's being chased by Goliath, but he hides down a nearby corridor as Goliath tails him down. And he's about to shoot Goliath with a laser, but Goliath manages to catch wind of him before he can.
Well, no, he uses the vertigo gun. Behold the power of vertigo.
Yeah.
And Goliath, I do like this, Goliath, staggers back, he drops to his knees, he tries to get up under it, but, he's not able to, and he actually, he clutches his chest here, he's having a heart
clenching
attack.
his muscles, too. Okay, well, you just made it a lot less attractive.
Well, that's what I thought it was happening, he was having, some sort of, extreme panic attack, or, something.
Okay, I just wrote down that he's, doing a lot of grunting and groaning as he's collapsing the floor and clenching his muscles. You were like, yeah, he's straight up having a heart attack.
Well, because he's specifically holding his chest, that was the first thought that occurred to me.
I put that he's holding his pec.
He's holding.
You know what?
He's holding his pec protectively.
You know
Make sure nothing happens
because we established that. We established that that's a source of power.
He's drawing his strength from his chest.
You know what? You describe it how you want. I will describe it in the sexified way.
Okay, both of our readings are valid here. Whatever you decide is correct.
Yeah, but mine's sexier. He puffs his way through it, though, and stays focused on his target. And then he just fucking, punches the ground and causes the whole floor to just kind of, erupt.
Yeah, the floor, buckles underneath him.
How?
I don't, it seems like he sends, a shockwave through the floor. I don't know what's happening.
He's crumbling metal that's, 10 feet away from him.
Yeah,
in doing this, Coyote accidentally shoots some nearby barrels because he's been thrown off guard
this
because
is
of the
the
shaking.
most well-animated part of the whole episode.
And then he shoots the barrels, causing them to explode, and then everything for the rest of the episode is all red and explodey.
Yeah, this entire ship is now just on fire.
Yes.
There's so much.
So Goliath is at the moment unfazed by this and pins Coyote against the wall, rips off the helmet, and oh my god, it's Xanatos!
I can't
blah blah
believe
blah
it's
blah blah.
Xanatos.
And he's like, Xanatos! And Xanatos is all flirty about it at first. He's like, it's nice to see you too, Goliath.
Oh my, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, he grabs his a muscle arm. He's like, it's nice to see you too, Goliath.
Xanatos,
and he does,
you slut.
He does a backflip off the balcony too.
He does a backflip off of Goliath's big chest.
See,
and then to the deck below.
That'll get you some. Because he needs a sturdy he needs a sturdy surface. He needs a sturdy surface, and at the moment, Goliath's pec is more sturdier than most of the ship.
And Goliath was really annoyed by it. He's like, "Stop using my own big chest against me."
They're just immediately better axes. And Goliath jumps down after him, and they duke it out for a bit via holding hands.
Yeah, I pointed that in my notes. It's the day hand holding move that you pointed out last time.
Yeah, but, quote, Xanatos, unquote, actually manages to somehow judo flip Goliath into a nearby pole.
Yeah, he's really strong here.
He's really strong for some reason,
Xanatos
and he was able to get that. He was able to get that gate too. How'd he do that? That's really interesting.
He just crumpled it in his bare
Anyways,
hands.
It's just another power suit, clearly.
It's fine. Okay, so Dingo's nearby. Meanwhile,
everyone
Dingo's
is still fighting, and everyone is also on fire at this point.
Yeah. So Dingo's wrapping his muscly arms around Hudson. Brooklyn and Broadway are fighting the twins in the background. And what is Wolf doing, mayhaps? I don't know. But while they're fighting, Hudson legit just stops and gets some space for a second. We get a POV shot between Dingo's legs.
We do
and
see that.
I swear to God, Hudson legit face plants into Dingo's bulge to lift him up and toss him over his back.
Over his
back. There is a legit just frame of just Hudson's face in Dingo's bulge that I sent you earlier.
I have to go back and look at that.
I pointed it out too. I guess you just didn't seem to.
Okay, because I'm fixating on what happens directly after this, which he tosses Dingo over his head behind him, and then Dingo face plants into Wolf, and their lips lock, and they just fall together madly kissing.
Yeah. Literally, Hudson picks up Dingo, and pretty much everything you just said already. So yeah,
I feel like Dingo is gonna replay this moment in his mind a lot late at night for a long time after this.
Okay, and no, okay, but then it shows Dingo and Wolf getting back up, and Wolf has his hand on Dingo's shoulder, in a protective dominant form. Did you notice that?
No, I didn't. Probably because by this point I've been taking notes for like 4 hours, and I was like, I just need to get through this episode. I just need to get to the end.
Oh my god, dude, you missed
This was
out.
like my entire day was this episode.
Okay, so as they're getting up, like, Wolf is like putting his hand on Dingo's shoulder, like you mess with my boyfriend, you mess with me.
Okay,
kind of
he runs showing it to me. Yes, it's very protective. It's very cute.
And then Wolf goes in after Hudson and does his typical bear hug grapple move again, but Hudson literally just catches him and tosses him off screen. And he's like, stay down, Blasty!
Oh yeah, like Wolf's like legs are kicking everything. He's just like, he's in full like bratty bottom mode. Like, punish me, daddy. I'm so bad. And Hudson's like, I don't have time for this. I'll punish you later.
We get another scene where Jackal's being lifted up by the collar by Lex. Like, that's the third time this has happened.
Well, even Lex is doing it now.
He's such a whore, and he's like growling and roaring, and Jackal's just kind of like whimpering, which is like,
nice.
It seems very in character for him, because, I guess, because he is kind of like a coward beneath it all.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this is the third time. I lost count. So, Lex tosses him to the side instead of just, like, ending him, I guess, because he was, like, being a wimp about it. And then Dingo aims a gun at Lex, but Broadway snatches it and, like, kind of bends it in half.
Yeah, because he fucking hates guns. Like, he gets to to fight his own enemy for this little moment.
Yes.
This he chucks the gun like at Dingo, and Dingo's like flies back like 20 feet. I don't even know where he goes.
Just about, yeah.
He's like just gone after this.
Goliath and Coyote on the side are also grappling some more, and around the fire for some reason. And for some reason, Coyote is like trying to hand gag Goliath, and he's like smirking sexually as he does it.
Well, okay, that's how you dominate Goliath. You have to dominate him both physically and sexually, and then Goliath's pretty much done once you do that.
Okay,
he goes into full subspace.
He's about to like legit just like end Goliath with like a laser, but then instead Bronx comes in and basically saves Goliath's life by tackling Coyote.
Yeah, and then savagely ripping his face off with his teeth.
Literally, without the context of knowing the spoiler. It looks like he's legit just killing Xanatos right now.
I think this is probably like the most violent moment the show ever has.
I mean, we get a couple more in a minute here when like he gets shot through the chest.
But after this we know it's a robot. But like this is the moment when like the audience, they probably don't know it's not really Xanatos.
Anyways, Coyote manages to kick off Bronx, and as he's getting up, oh my god, it's a robot!
Yeah, sorry, I gave it away early.
His face is gone.
It's Robot Xanatos.
Oh my god!
Okay, it's like it hasn't even been Xanatos this entire episode.
The pack off to the side watches in shock, and Dingo's like, "He's a robot."
Okay, and then Hyena has this beautiful line where she says, "A robot, even better." Like
she's like, "Smear."
Oh my! Like this is why I love them, because like. Nothing will dissuade her from fucking this thing.
She knows he's a robot now.
She is more turned on than she was before. This is why I love her as a character.
I love it. My favorite psychopath.
Oh my god. Like, she's into so many
She's a robosexual, dude.
Yeah, she is.
And she'll fuck, I feel like, just about anyone or anything.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so...
It's so good.
Meanwhile, Lexington literally blasts a hole in Coyote's once perfect torso.
You get a great shot of like through the torso, and like Lexington's like on the other side of the smoking.
This is like kind of brutal looking. Like Lexington,
really
like you have to register the fact that Lexington legit just shot a man. It was a robot, but still,
it's fine.
But still. It's pretty fucking, like dark.
It's surprisingly, like this, the part of this episode is, like, surprisingly violent.
Yeah.
In a good way, in my opinion.
That kind of affected me more than the Bronx thing, because Bronx is like an animal. I could see him, like, wanting to kill someone to be protective, but Lexington is legit
shot him,
just, like...
with intent to kill. Yeah.
It was really dark. Anyways, and then
after that, Goliath gets in on it, because he, like, jumps up, and then knocks Coyote's head off his body.
He roundhouse kicks
kick.
Coyote's head off, and it lands in front of the pack.
It lands in front of Hyena, and she looks down on it, and she's like, maybe I don't want to fuck it anymore.
She would fuck a severed head.
She's like, unsure. Let me consider it.
Okay,
like
so
then like the whole like gargoyle team, like they pose with like Lex holding his laser gun. It looks extremely 90s. Like this is the most 90s the show will ever look. And he just says, "Who's next?" Just like,
and then they have the pack cornered, but Jackal then like looks off to the side and notices that like, oh yeah, everything's blowing the fuck up.
It's literally reflected in his pupils.
Yeah, it's an
really
interesting
cool.
shot. Like they do that pupil thing like several times. Whoever animated like the show had like a fetish for like eyes, like
for eyes being reflective.
Like eyes looking at things and noticing things, like the red eyes in the first season that we had Hudson in that whole fight sequence, like looking to the left and right, and now we have like Jackal who's like seeing the fire reflected in his eyes. And so
it's time to go. Like they're finished. Coyote has been blown up.
He grabs his sister by the arm and he's like, yeah, let's get the fuck out of here. He says something else though, and he's like weirdly British in his voice.
What does he say? He says something like things are about to get complicated or like something like that.
Yeah. He sounds like his Draco Malfoy voice again. I kind of hear it there. I feel like the voice actor's actually British, but trying to do like an American sounding accent a little. Like he just sounds like a snake. Like,
he
at
sounds
all times.
Cultivated, cultured. He
sounds like Draco Malfoy.
Like Draco Malfoy. Okay, they all jump into the airship. It takes off. Did you notice who was piloting the airship as they were leaving?
I did! I was like, I put in my notes, I'm like, for some reason, Wolf is driving. What the fuck? Gay man can't drive. Y'all are gonna crash.
Would you trust... Okay, I don't trust Wolf to drive anything. I wouldn't trust him to drive a forklift. Much less, like...
What a forklift?
Airship. Forklifts are actually take a lot of space.
Okay, like if they had like,
I wouldn't trust him to drive a lawnmower. Like I wouldn't trust him to drive anything.
If they had like Dingo or Jackal in the pilot seat, it would make more sense. But the fact that it's Wolf shows like this is a moment of desperation. He just like chose to like take advantage of like trying to be, oh, I can be the big cool leader guy and fly us out of here.
Well, I guess now that Coyote's out of the picture, I guess it is back to him being like the de facto leader,
out of the picture, unquote. But yeah.
Like of the remaining pack members, like I know they're gonna all split up after this, but like I guess for the moment, like he considers himself
they're not all
in charge.
They're not all split. No, this isn't the point where they all split up.
Oh, don't they?
No, because they're still together when.
Oh, that'll be with the weird body horror episode later on. Okay,
it's after Upgrade, I believe.
Nice. I'm glad they get to stick together and still have their weird orgies.
Yeah. So things keep blowing up, and Brooklyn is knocked out by one of the nearby explosions as oil seeps into the harbor.
No.
And it's a really desperate moment. Lex has to choose between either shooting down the pack ship with the gun he has, or saving Brooklyn.
Yeah, like he's got their ship like in the sights of his rifle, and you can tell he really wants to take the shot. But like, he sees Brooklyn there too.
Yeah, so. He just narrowly saves him by grabbing him by the tail and saves him from like plummeting into a lake of fire at this point. And obviously, given the angle, he could probably see his ass.
Okay, I was wondering if you were going to bring it up. Like, this is a serious moment, but I'm fairly sure Lexington got a very close look at Brooklyn's asshole.
Everybody at this point has seen Brooklyn's tight red
he just like he couldn't help but look at it because like it was right in front of his face. Like
his butthole is like a fleshy shade of like crimson too.
I bet it is.
Like, everybody knows it, like, too well at this point. Just, like, it's just a tight pucker begging to be, like, penetrated.
Yeah, Lexington has, like, resist putting a finger in, probably. No, this is a serious moment. We're saving lives here. I do like that he had to make the choice, like, between vengeance or the values that Brooklyn was telling him about before, like, protecting, like, family and stuff. Like, it is sort of trite, but, like... For a kid's show, I think it was actually done really well, and like it didn't really.
Yeah, this is a very pivotal. This is a very pivotal moment for Lexington's character development.
Yeah, like he chooses to not take vengeance in this moment and to like protect.
Yeah, he picked the Paragon prompt.
Yes.
Okay. Oh wait.
Okay. After this, I completely forgot this part until I watched this episode again. But so the rest of the plan, right? They gather around Xantos's robot head that's on the floor, and then. It has, like, little rockets in the neck of
Rocket
it.
thrusters.
Like
yeah.
I guess
And then
I guess Xanatos even planned for this to happen. And
so like we just have like a flying severed Xanatos robot head with rocket thrusters flying through the night.
yeah, and they're like, okay.
It looks like
I can imagine
too.
I can imagine like a New Yorker
Like-
pulling out his cell phone, like seeing the floating head and just
It's
being like, is that an UFO?
Like a self-destruct mechanism I could have bought, but like little rockets in the
But like, okay, but,
But
like,
also it just switches back and forth between two frames rapidly, and it looks really weird.
yeah, it was like the one point in this episode where like they tried to save on budget by just like, okay, we'll
Yeah.
just like shortcut it.
well, yeah, I mean, self-destruct would make more sense, but they wanted to do more with Coyote's character, and they end up doing that.
Yeah, it's weird. And
So,
then like
it's
Hudson is
we-
pissed off afterwards. He's like, literally everyone got away while we all just like fucking stood here. And it's like yeah, they sort of did, guys.
Yeah, they did. Well, you know, so there's this whole sequence, this amazingly animated sequence of the ship pretty much blowing up and sinking, and like all of our main heroes are like on the ship. I guess they can't.
Yeah,
really
like
fly
it looks
away 'cause
really
there's-
good. Like you
there's
see like
no wind
water
or whatever.
rushing into like the lower decks and
There
stuff.
should be plenty
Yeah.
of thermals given all the fire.
Yeah, well, you know, what ends up happening is, as the ship is finally sinking into the flaming harbor, they use the gusts of wind of the incoming waves that are eating up the ship to like soar away from the wreckage. And then we get this really sad moment where it shows like Bronx is like still on the ship,
And like he's gonna
whining.
die because he like it's like, did they forget that I can't fly? But no,
And then-
Goliath comes in like at the last moment and
Yeah.
scoops up the puppy,
Yeah.
and it's like, yay, Bronx didn't
Yeah.
just die.
Okay. And as they're flying away, Brooklyn says to Lexington, "Thanks for saving my bacon before it got fried."
Which is like,
And-
okay, that's like an oddly fucky line, and I don't know why
It is.
It
but like
is.
it feels fucky to me somehow.
It's like referring to his ass as like a slap.
Yeah, like I think like before it got fried, I think it's like what tips it over the edge into like that's weirdly sexual. I don't know why.
Okay. I thought the first half was more sexual.
Like the whole
Okay,
thing.
well,
I think just the way he
I thought-
delivers it too. It's like just they're having like their tender bro moments, and he's like tenderly talking about his bacon and how it like got fried, and plus like to me like asses getting fried like brings to mind spanking. Like it's just
It's kinky.
yeah. And Lex says like, hey, I'm used to it. Besides, it helped me get my priorities straight.
So
Which is like,
more
aw, they're
explosion
friends again.
happens
It's nice.
as we fade into the final scene of the episode. We fade out to the next day, and it's shown that Fox is like standing in front of this like civil court or whatever, and
Yeah, it's
they're
like
like
her
decree.
probation board or whatever.
Yeah, and they're decreeing that they should allow her parole because she voluntarily stayed behind and helped the prison guard
Yeah.
instead of like leaving with the rest of the pack.
Which
and
was like
breaking out.
perfectly played on her part. Like I don't even know if this was set up ahead of time or not, but like in the
Xanatos
moment,
says it was.
yeah, but like I don't know
at
if he
the
even
end.
told her the specifics of what would happen, and like how would they know that a guard would be there?
Okay,
I think
okay,
Fox
she's
is just like
definitely
on her
improvised.
feet. Yeah, like
She's
she improvised
definitely in
really
on
well.
it. Okay, yeah, like, I'm pretty sure her initial moments when all that happened was like, no, this is not according to plan, I'm staying right here in prison like Mr. Xanatos told me to.
Yeah, like the plan was always for her to stay there, but like using the guard along with that was like a stroke of genius on her part to like get out of
Yes,
prison even
yes.
faster.
Yeah.
She's so good.
Yeah. So, as soon as, like, they grant her parole, she has this, like, smirk on her face and, like, this all according to
She
plan
looks
music
super
plays in the
evil.
background.
Yeah, she's all like,
does, yeah. She's like kind of evil, but not that evil, you know?
She's the fun kind of evil.
She is, yeah. I'm glad that they didn't just, like, make, like, Fox, like, another pawn for Xanatos
Like,
to
I
use.
feel like
And
she's the kind of evil that'd be, like, really fun to, like, go to the mall with, you know?
Oh my
And,
god,
like,
Fox would be so much fun to hang out with.
Yeah.
It's okay, so it's like I said before, she kind of reminds me of those personality aspects where it's like she kind of she feeds off of other people's like behavioral mannerisms. She matches them. It's like how she kind of like quote seduced Lex unquote in the Pack episode, the first one.
She like reflected his own like adoration sort of like back at him in that moment.
Yes, exactly.
And gave him
She's
what he
kind
wanted.
of I wouldn't classify her as a sociopath, but she has like similar mannerisms. I don't think she's a sociopath. I think she cares to some extent, but like she's still very manipulative, and she doesn't necessarily have to use those for her benefit, but she does most of the time. Like sleeping with like all the Pack members except for Wolf, of course. That was definitely for her own benefit. Like she wanted to get like an analysis of each member. I think
it was her way of saying that I've still got the edge.
I don't think she.
Because she edged all of the Pack.
She's definitely got a healthy
edge,
sex
so
life. Like I think she's like, except for. I have to point that out every time. I just love that that's like canon.
It is canon.
Okay,
but so she's walking out of prison, like she's been released. She's going to a waiting
entering
car.
What seems to be a limousine waiting for her.
Mm-hmm. And you can see the back of Owen's head as he opens the door for her.
Yeah, just about. Yeah.
Because Owen's beautiful and he's
I'll let you handle this. You seem to want to talk.
We're at the very end. So inside, she lets her hair down with a flourish, and then Xanatos is in the seat next to her, and he pulls her in close, and they share a very passionate kiss. And they
this is like the first on-screen like kiss, I think, in the show.
I think it might be.
Yeah.
And this is the beginning of like them having like a confirmed relationship, and it's like one of the best parts of the show going forward, and I love it.
So much in this episode happens, but I love that little factor is also established. It was implied in the first season, but this is like,
it's so good. Okay, but they basically go over...
Beautiful way to end the episode.
They basically go over, like, everything that we just talked about. Like, the whole plan was, like, really just to, like, bust Fox out of prison, so to speak, but, like, legally. And, like, all the rest of the shit that he was doing, like, with the Pack and stuff, like, that was just him fucking around. Him playing with, like, this new, like, human-like robot that he developed to, like, look like himself and, like, act through.
Because he's an egomaniac.
Oh my god.
He's an egomaniac.
Oh my god, I need to ask now. This gives me ideas.
Did he fuck his robot self?
Yes!
I knew you were
Coyote
going
and
there.
Xanatos.
Like, how could he not fuck his robot self?
How could he not fuck himself?
That's how he would tell if it was working properly. If it was following all, like, the fuck him algorithms.
Oh my god, that means he definitely gave Coyote a sex drive, and that's why Coyote and Hyena are, like, a thing. Okay, so
anyway, so they go over that. Fox says, like, so who won? And he just says,
Xanatos
it never mattered. That was merely the icing.
You're the cake. Damn!
Like, he's so smooth.
There's so much swag in that, like, line. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, that's how you flirt with a significant other.
And, like, he shows her, like, the mostly destroyed robot head that I just, like, flew back to him. So now he's just like, let this be the first thing you see.
Yeah.
Now that you're out of prison, in my arms again. And she's all like, oh, they destroyed it. What about your revenge? And he says, revenge, as they say, is a sucker's game. Robots are nothing, Fox, my dear. I can build a dozen more like this one. True love is so much harder to come by. And
that's pretty much the main theme of the episode right there.
It's so good, and that's the end. That's roll credits right after that.
I like that final line. Revenge is a sucker's game. True love is so much harder to come by, because it also ties into Lexington's entire plot line.
Yes,
this episode.
It does.
Yeah.
So like, it works really well thematically. Like, this episode is mostly action, but like, the themes that they do work into it like are effective and they work well.
Okay, so.
Oh my! We got through it. We got through it. Leader of the Pack. We got through it,
and it only took us 2.5 hours almost.
What a good episode, though. What
this
did you guys
was
think of it?
An amazing episode. Start to finish, just amazing. It has some of my favorite moments. It kind of shapes all my favorite characters. Just about every single one of my favorite characters got like a shining moment here.
Yeah, like
even
everyone
Hudson.
on the Pack like got stuff to do They all got like character-defining moments for themselves, like except for Jackal maybe, but like he was at least around.
Jackal got lifted up by the collar 3 times by 3 different characters.
Dingo had a fantastic ass. Wolf ripped his shirt off. Hyena's gonna fuck a robot. Like everyone got fun, cool stuff.
Yeah, just
and they all looked really good.
Everyone was super hot in this episode. What would you rate this episode?
I'm just going to give it a 5 out of 5.
Yes, like, yes. Definitely,
this is definitely one of the
5
top
out of 5.
Episodes.
Yes, this is probably, nostalgia-wise, this is my favorite episode. It's probably my top 3 episodes. I still have to do like a ranking order in my head, but yeah.
Like, I don't know like where it places. Like, because there's a lot of episodes I do like better than this one, but like this is a really good, like, this is the show in top form. So I'm going to definitely give it a 5.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, we're back to the golden age.
Yeah.
We've returned. Okay, and let's get started on the other criteria.
Okay. Is there even a point? Like, what's the horniest animator moment? Like, what is it, Syd? Tell me what it is. What do you think is the horniest part of the episode?
Listen. I want to find the animator who decided it was a good idea to show Wolf ripping his shirt off. And I want to... I don't know if I want to shake his hand for doing that, or if I want to just be like, why did you make me gay?
Why?
Like, why did you do this to me?
What have you done? Okay, what if he tells you that, like, he traced that scene from, like, a real-life model or something, or, like, you know, footage that they had on hand?
I would have to meet the model.
But yeah, I agree. Wolf's chest is definitely the best part of this episode.
Yeah,
and it looks really
I mean, there's
good
so
in that
many.
moment.
I do have
there's
to.
So.
I'm gonna throw out a couple other options.
Yeah, like there are lots of other hot scenes. But
Because
go ahead.
There's the moment where Brooklyn taps who was it? Wolf on the shoulder?
It was Hyena.
Hyena.
And he looks like really buff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's like probably the hottest Brooklyn ever looked.
That was like okay, not the hottest he's looked in my opinion.
Well, okay, the motorcycle one is probably the hottest, but like he looks really good there.
Yeah, he does. I think this is the hottest.
Really the whole time.
This is definitely the hottest Lexington has looked in my opinion.
Yeah,
I like all his expressions. I like how he looks like kind of like a twinkish orc with his little tusks sticking out.
So like he still looks twinky, but like
I think
buff twink. Somehow.
My favorite moment with him this episode is definitely when he's like outmaneuvering Wolf like super easily.
Mm-hmm.
I like him waking up on the floor and just kind of groaning, and he's like posed like this sub-French girl kind of pose. Like he looks like he could be a painting in that scene, and he's also moaning sensually. So it's like you know.
And like Brooklyn is there listening, probably getting turned on.
I liked that I could relate to Brooklyn in this episode, but he didn't really like particularly fascinate me outside of that.
Okay, because he's not like being horny for girls in this episode. So like he's actually a likable person in this one.
No, yeah, he is. I wish he were like this in all his episodes, and I might like him more.
Unfortunately, next episode is probably my least.
Oh my god! Is next one with Maggie? Are we already there?
God,
no, I've been looking forward to. We're gonna have so much to talk about, though.
My god!
It'll be such a good episode.
We were having such a good time. We were having such a good time.
We're talking about things I liked.
We were talking about things we liked, and
oh
now
my
we
god,
have to
the
deal with
animation's
Maggie?
gonna go down the shitter. We're gonna have Maggie around. Like, we're gonna see the show, like, at its absolute heights, and then at its absolute lows. I can't wait. Oh my god.
I feel like it's not an absolute low, because we still get a bunch of hot guys and
on the bright side. On the bright side.
And
we get Claw, and we get Fane. We get Claw and Fane. Those are the only two other mutates that matter.
We are gonna have so much fun.
Claw and Fane are barely in that.
Yeah, they don't really... I don't think they even have lines in that episode.
They don't have lines, in the next mutate episode.
Yeah. But you know, I don't know.
It's gonna be. There'll be a lot to talk about.
Okay, I don't even want to. We're not gonna get into that. We're talking about the hottest animator moment right now.
Yeah.
In this amazing episode.
I did also like the moment where Dingo was thrown onto Wolf and they kissed each other.
Yeah. There's so many just great moments.
That was also good.
Lexington hauling up Brooklyn by the tail.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
Lex in
I
general
wouldn't
is,
say
like,
that was
really
horny.
hot.
That was actually a very serious moment.
It's very serious, but it's kind of horny.
We made it horny.
I think a second place for me is also when like Coyote is definitely like just easily dominating Wolf.
That's like that whole scene is really horny.
I like the scene where he grabs his peck and electrocutes him. I like
the
the scene where
gas, or
the
he
knockout
falls
gas.
over.
Yeah.
All of Wolf's faces and like
just
his
like,
big chest,
oh my
the
god,
tank top.
yes, yeah.
The push-up scene was hot. Like, there's, it's a good episode when like we're just listing off hot moments, and it's like most of the episode was hot.
Yeah, literally. Coyote climbing up the prison wall, and we see his ass, his bulge. Coyote,
making the Wolverine noises.
I feel it's almost unfortunate that these characters are as hot as they're ever going to be in this episode because
don't think of it that way.
Wolf has a stupid like outfit later on. Granted, he's a hot like footy Wolfman acrobat, but like he wears a stupid fucking leotard.
I'm not looking forward to that. But like we'll have stuff to talk about. It's fun.
And
Coyote, it's gonna be fun.
Coyote doesn't have like a hot like seemingly humanoid bod anymore. He's just like this weird robot thing.
Yeah, that episode is like really sort of scary.
No, that's just like how he appears like throughout the rest of the series.
Yeah,
that's how they all appear.
Yeah, I know. I'm not really a fan, but at the same time, I sort of am a fan. We'll get to it.
Whatever.
Gayest character. Who is gay?
Okay, whatever.
Do you have more to say? You can
I
say.
did have something to say
Okay.
about that.
Go ahead.
I think I lost my train of thought anyways, so
I'm sorry.
it doesn't matter. Yeah, well, I think what I was gonna say was like, oh god, what was it? Okay, well, viewers can like send in their emails, giving us their thoughts on like the pack as they appear in this episode compared to how they appear later in the series.
Do we have emails to read today?
We have like 2.
Really?
One of them, yeah.
Sorry.
2-ish.
2-ish,
because one of them's from Haran.
You send in an email? Okay, and then you get to be on the podcast. You can read your own email then.
Let's read, yeah, you can read your own email.
Okay.
Okay,
Well, I'm disappointed I'm not going to be on this one, so I'm going to send in an email with some of the stuff. And then, like, I'm here anyway, so...
Yeah, it took me longer than usual to tape all my notes. Just, like, a lot happens in this episode.
Oh, God. I took, like, 16 pages worth of notes. It's 4,692 words.
We should be paid for this.
Yeah, we should, but we're not.
We should open up a Patreon. Okay.
We should.
We have 3 emails.
We do. Is one of them the security alert?
No. Okay, before we do the email, should we go over who's gay?
What? Oh, yeah. We were gonna do the gayest character thing.
Yeah,
and then I got sidetracked because I was gonna talk about the emails, but then we started talking about the emails. Okay. Anyways, gayest character in the episode. Let's go.
Okay.
Who is it? You guys have any ideas who it might be?
I may have an unconventional choice.
Yeah. Oh, no.
For this one, I'm gonna go with
no.
Dingo. Because, like I said, I really think
he went
through an emotional journey in this episode, and then got sort of burned by the end of it. And I feel bad for him. This is mostly my own headcanon, but I do feel like it works. He felt something for Wolf, and then Wolf rejected him. And he's like, well, then why'd I go to all the trouble of breaking you out of prison and shit? He went through so much for him, and then Wolf is like, ew, this guy is touching me. Gross. So, yeah, that's my pick for today. It's Dingo. Beautiful gay Dingo, who just wants Wolf's big dick in his ass, in his mouth again, everywhere. He wants to touch his balls. He wants everything. I
would probably go with Lexington.
I knew it. I felt like you were leaning towards Lexington.
Well, first of all, there's, Fourier is always a thing. And it's very strong in this episode.
Yeah.
With his obsession with the pack members.
Especially with Wolf, because he went after Wolf.
Yeah, first. Especially with all the guys. He went after... The only person he didn't go after was Hyena.
Hyena attacked him, but he never went after Hyena because he didn't. No. He was going after other people instead.
No, he was going after all the guys of the pack. All episodes.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
He was feeling his own oats. Maybe, he might be more similar to Wolf than we've ever really considered.
Well, they're both gay, so
Yeah.
They're both gay.
I think
They're
that's
into dom
yeah,
play.
but Wolf is a fucking idiot, and Lexington's kind of a genius. So that would be an interesting dynamic.
I want to see them hook up.
I mean, hey,
They would have one disaster date.
I want to do more with that prompt.
Or no, okay.
So.
It would be a blind date, or no, Lex would hook up with someone on Grindr, but Wolf is the kind of guy who doesn't put his own profile pictures. So then they meet up, and it's oh, it's you, and then they make the best of it and try to go on a date. Meanwhile, the rest of the pack is stalking them and spying on them, and meanwhile the rest of the Manhattan clan is also doing the same thing, and then they all get together at the end and have a party.
Wow!
I just had a fun AU fan fiction in my brain.
Yay! That was actually really wholesome, surprisingly
nice.
Wholesome.
Yeah. They only fight to the death a couple times.
Oh yeah, no, of course.
Okay, so we have one for Dingo, one for Lexington. What's your choice, Syd?
Well, I mean, the man who shaped my entire fixation on gargoyles to begin with, the individual who vexed me as a confused young lad and continues to vex me in my adulthood, the fact that he even exists, I would have to go with Wolf.
How dare he? I forgot that Wolf was in this episode. Yeah, he's a good choice too.
The fact that he is obviously, I mean, I've read it off of him from the beginning and in all of his appearances, that he is not necessarily just evil, but he's just moronic because he shuts off everything in his mind just for the fact that he's never come to terms with his own emotions or sexuality, and he suffers with extreme body dysmorphia, to the point where it's I'm gonna become a wolfman furry, and I'm gonna fuck all the other strong men up, because I'm a strong man too.
Oh my god, and he's the basic type of fur who's yeah, if you're a bottom, you have a fox persona, but if you're a top, you have a wolf.
I don't know if he'd be that biased. I don't know, and Wolf doesn't really think on women enough to shape an opinion. Yeah, pretty much.
He can't see them.
Yeah, when in the series do you ever see Wolf interact?
Does he ever talk to Hyena in this episode? I don't think he's aware that she's even there.
Probably not. I mean, I think they share one exchange later on.
He talks to Jackal and Dingo, but not Hyena.
Yeah, he's a guy's guy. Yeah, he's never interacted with a female character the entire series, I don't think. That just speaks for itself. So I don't know if he has an opinion on... Oh wait, no, we were talking about foxes though. Oh wait, but Fox her name's Fox.
Yeah, that's her name legally.
Oh yeah. That's nice.
It is nice.
What were we talking about?
I don't know anymore. Okay, so we have a three-way tie. I feel because this is Wolf's fuckiest episode, we might give it to Wolf this time.
This time?
This time. But I feel Dingo and Lexington both made strong showings as well in being gay.
Yeah, I'm sure by now the listeners are just tired of my whole shtick. Oh my god, is this guy talking about this fucking character again?
Well, when is his next episode? It'll be a while before we see him again, right? Poor Wolf.
I think the next episode is literally the upgrade episode.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, when is that?
It's not till next season, quote unquote, right? 18.
18.
Season
okay.
2,
so,
episode 18.
We'll have to talk about so many other characters. Don't worry, viewers. We'll talk about other people besides Wolf, although Wolf is extremely hot and stupid,
I have blown my wolfish load for the time being.
We blew a lot of loads reviewing this episode.
We did. I'm gonna blow a few more tonight.
Great. I'm glad.
Rewatching this episode and just revisit some nostalgia. Oh yeah, I used to jerk off to this scene.
Okay.
I'm half joking, half not. Okay.
So we have 3 emails. How about we all read one? Eurons can read his, and I'll read. Do you have any preference on which one you'd like to read?
Okay, so I will read Remy's.
Okay.
Okay, so Remy reads. He says, And I'm reading. Hello again, Loincloth Hour crew. Thanks for another fun episode last time. As I expected, episodes I either didn't like or didn't think that highly of before, you made a lot more fun with your review and your comments. I really like your take on Coldstone and everything going on, especially on Goliath and also the dynamic between Demona and Xanatos. And now we move on to the Season 2 premiere, and so glad we got a pack episode. What a fun one this was. There's a little bit of everything, from Wolf being an idiot while also showcasing that intense masculinity. Him being here is going to make it so much fun to listen to Syd. Yeah, and to Hyena's lines, to Owen being the perfect asshole with his smugness and shit-eating smile. Yes. And then there was Hudson being badass in the battle later on, the image of Bronx just munching on Coyote's face, and the ending of the episode where Xanatos and Fox share a fantastic scene with great dialogue. Xanatos' thoughts on revenge is such a mood, and it's one of the reasons why he's one of the greatest villains ever. Just not bothering with revenge because it's a waste of time. Yeah, I am in full agreement.
Like, it's beneath him to care that much about other people to want to get revenge on them.
Yeah, exactly. Like, everything's just a game to him. Mm-hmm. Okay, and just a few things I didn't care for. The sudden shift in animation mid-episode, especially because our angry boy Lexington ends up looking like some little chupacabra goblin critter. Oh, but he's cute.
We disagree with that. Like,
we disagree with that.
Because we thought Lex was hot like this.
We thought Lex was kind of... I thought he was very cute like this. I know a few Lexington fans who also like his appearance in this episode. Then there was Dingo's disappearing mustache. Okay,
Thank you.
Yeah.
We need to go back and... Okay, I'll show you all the screen caps.
Okay.
His
and
mustache
then finally,
just disappears.
Brooklyn's one-liners, because holy shit does Brooklyn try really hard to be the smart, snarky, witty type, but his one-liners fall so damn flat, and they're just plain not funny, which is yet another reason why I don't like him. I don't know. I don't think we commented about any of that this episode.
Other episodes, I might agree. I actually think they were fine in this episode. Like, I like the one when he was like, great, no plan at all, awesome. Like, let's just have a fight, I guess.
I was saying
and I'm surprised they did lose that fight because they didn't have a fucking plan.
I was saying that Brooklyn was relatable, and I stand by that, and the fact that I am a sassy motherfucker in real life, and I respond to all stress with sarcasm.
Yeah, sarcasm is important in my, in my upbringing.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. You see that? I was just sarcastic.
Oh, it didn't really come through.
I was like, yeah, I guess you could say that.
Why are you demonstrating what sarcasm is?
I'm like onto this right now. Okay, let me finish up the email. And before I wrap up, here's another installment of Remy's completely useless timeline info.
Oh.
The events of the Coldstone episode happened in February 3rd and 4th of 1995. Quite some time passes as the events of this pack episode start on September 4th? So we lose an entire, 7 or 8 months.
Oh yeah, it's not winter anymore in this episode.
Well,
and then we're gonna have the Halloween episode sort of soon.
Ooh. Okay.
So yeah, that makes... I guess they've just been hanging out this whole time, solving crime and such.
Okay, so the oil tanker scene happens after midnight on September 5th, and the next day, the 6th, Fox is let out on early parole. Wait, what? Okay, so the events start on September 4th, and then it happens on midnight on September 5th. Okay, yeah, I got it. Yeah. I got it now. Okay, I'm sorry. Time is confusing, and it's a construct, and no one should follow by it. I think we should all just live in abstract form.
I like that. I don't know how efficient we'd all be, but yeah, I do.
Probably not as efficient as well, but at least we'd have more fun with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Fox is let out on an early parole, but on the 6th, but between these episodes, on the 1st of April, a certain mad scientist recruited 2 homeless men who end up becoming certain duo characters that Syd and I both like a lot, who we'll see for the first very time soon, along with another certain homeless character, a woman who I'm sure we all hate, and of course, more of Derek to piss us off.
I can't
But
wait.
we'll get there when we get there. For now, thanks so much for more fun episodes of your podcast, and for putting up with my rambling. Take care.
Thank you for your email, Remy. We always love your emails.
Thank you, Remy.
They add that special something.
They do. They're very special. He's kind of I think Remy is kind of our voluntary employee with the Loincloth Hour at the moment.
He does the timeline stuff for us.
Yes,
he sends in the emails that we can read.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that was a great. Gee Willikers, that was a swell email. Let's go on to the next one.
Well, next one is from our resident guest host, Hiran, who I just must have sent this while you were at work today.
Yeah, I saw you post about ready for emails. I'm like, well, I gotta send something. So this is a quick one. And, well, given what episode this is, I of course need to write in to tease Syd endlessly. This is one of the most Wolf fanservice-y episodes of the whole series. I'm sure the whole episode has just been him doing nothing but thirsting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen. I hate to fill in the stereotype.
Remember when we let a scene go by where I didn't mention how big Wolf's chest was, and you made us go back so that you could talk about it some more?
Yeah. That was fun. They are big. They're very big. I don't know if you got that.
They're both sides are big, and then separately together.
They're not too big. They're not macro big. They're just the right amount of big. I just want to I want to do what Coyote did, except with
and just squeeze them really hard.
Imagine Wolf going, my chest is bigger.
Oh my god!
That's literally what happened.
We just watched a movie last night where there was a female character who was being rescued, but then another of the male characters who was nearby, who was extremely weird and gay, was all my chest is bigger, and then he kept holding his chest and comparing it to hers, and she was like, who are you? What is happening? Get away from me.
Because he was getting jealous of another guy giving her attention.
Yeah.
Who he very canonically had a crush on.
Okay, but I can see that happening with Wolf. If Goliath is fighting Fox or someone, Wolf would be there and be like, my chest is bigger though. And Goliath would be like, what? And then they just fight each other.
I love it. I need more of this in my life. I just need more Wolf content, because when was the last time any canonical Gargoyle story came out involving him? Since what, 1990 whatever, 2000 whatever.
Well, he never showed up in the comics, so yeah, since
he was mentioned.
Was he even mentioned?
I think I read on his Garwiki that there was something him mentioned. He caused chaos with hyenas somewhere, but that's about it.
I would like to read that story.
Yeah. And I know that they had intentions for doing another upgrade thing with the pack, and he was supposed to be even more upgraded than before. I don't know.
I wonder if he'd become even more animalistic.
I don't know.
Or maybe he'd just become bigger.
I would like to think that he just
maybe he'd finally get that tail.
Oh my god, that'd be awesome. He becomes more of a wolf man.
The wolf man.
It was just a big.
Seems like he needs a haircut. Anyway.
Well, anyways, continuing the email.
Yeah.
I always thought this was one of Xanatos' better gambits. He got exactly what he wanted, and the whole thing was quite sensibly planned. What do you think about this compared to some of his other gambits?
I agree, because his plan actually makes sense in this one.
Yeah.
I could follow it and be yeah, that all makes sense.
Yeah, honestly, it was not. This wasn't just a case of him saying yeah, all according to plan. This was literally it was all according to his plan.
You can see how everything that he did added up to Fox getting out of prison early, and yeah, it wasn't the thing with him having a robot double was stupid, but that wasn't even part of the core part of his plan, which is just getting Fox out.
Yeah, he just wanted to make a robot double.
Yeah, that was just a side thing he was just doing that week.
He definitely fucked Coyote at some point.
He definitely.
And I think Dingo.
We forgot to include Xanatos on our Who's Day list. He was fucking Coyote. He's definitely day 2.
Well, Dingo also probably fucked Coyote, considering he was on a European vacation. Then
yeah, okay. How long were Dingo and Coyote working together before they were went on this rescue mission? How many weeks did they spend planning this with each other, knowing each other intimately?
It was
exploring each other's bodies.
Well, Dingo didn't even realize he was a robot.
Yeah. Which makes it hotter.
Oh, that makes it hotter. I fucked the robot. What?
Oh, that's why he had the reaction when the reveal, because he's been
he's a
that
robot.
thing's been balls deep in me.
this.
Oh
I love
my
this.
god.
You know what? And the best part is, like, it's not even established how that happened, so we can just make up our own headcanons and just use that.
Oh my god.
God.
Okay, is that the end of your email?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay,
I had a 2-line email.
That's it. That was that. They don't need to be long. Anyone who's listening, you don't need to send long emails. Just send us emails. That's all that we
Send
want.
us, like, you can send us cute little comments.
Yeah, because you'll turn a 2-line email into, like, another...
Yeah, just look at what just happened, just from what you did. Now we have a whole new sex scene in our brains.
Yeah.
A weird, wonderful sex scene.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Last
and then we
one.
have...
Oh, this is another short one, it looks like. So it's from our friend
Yes.
Lucian, who has also sent multiple emails. We always love receiving them. He
Thank
says,
you, Lucian.
"Hello, it's Lucian again. I know it's been a while, and I'm still catching up, but that screenshot you posted has me wondering. What would be each gargoyle's reaction during their chest honked like that?
Yeah.
Looking forward to listening again." So, okay, for viewers who don't know, Syd posted a screen cap from this episode earlier today on Twitter, and it was the one where Coyote was squeezing Wolf's, like, pecs before electrocuting him. But in the moment, it just looks like he really just wanted to touch Wolf.
I just captioned it honk honk and posted the screenshot without context. And one of my favorite Twitter accounts ever, Pecs of the Day, did retweet it, and it got a lot of traction, and I was kind of intimidated.
That Twitter account is so big, so I'm glad that probably got more eyes on our account, which is wonderful.
Yeah. This is one of the biggest tweets we've had, I think, alongside that one
perfect
tweet you made,
shot.
the one perfect shot, where it looks like Broadway is about to shove a whole tree up Brooklyn's ass.
It's pretty good. I have to say that might be the favorite tweet I've ever done.
Okay, but the point of this email.
How would each gargoyle react? I don't know. I guess it depends, like, who is doing the haunting, I think is important.
Yeah.
That's going to definitely change things.
If Elisa haunted Goliath's chest, I think he'd be perturbed, but, like, definitely also secretly turned on by it, and he would probably hope that she would do it again.
Like,
but he wouldn't
after
say
it happened,
so. He'd act, like, flustered and be like, oh, the dignity of a clan leader, and she'd be like, "Oh, but you liked it though, because I can see you're like massive heart."
Like after it happens, it's just kind of like dwelling in his mind. He's like, "Why did she honk me?
Is
like,
she objectifying my?"
And then he
tits?
starts like playing with his own pecs.
Oh
He's
my
like,
god, yeah, like squeezing them rhythmically, and being like, "It feels. I've never felt this way before.
I feel an energy."
Because when he was with Demona, she was like only into petting him, but with Elisa, she appreciates like all of him, including his gigantic chest.
Yeah.
So he feel objectified, but also like he would enjoy feeling objectified.
If like one of us did it though, like a random stranger, he'd be like
one of us, because we just hang out with the gargoyles.
Yeah. I see them every Tuesday at my blackjack game.
Yeah, like if a random person. Okay, what if like Matt Bluestone honked Hudson on the chest?
Okay, well, but I feel like Hudson. Okay, so taking Matt out of that picture, I feel like Hudson would be completely okay with just about anyone honking his chest. I feel like he's kinky like that.
He's
like,
been down that road before.
He's been down that road. He's been around a while. He's definitely had some of the sex in the past before.
You would make a snarky comment about
He might be like, "You honk mine, I'll honk yours." And
yeah!
he would, like,
oh my god.
just kidnap Matt to some dark corner of some bar somewhere.
Yeah.
Or like a bathroom.
I could honestly...
Hudson Matt shipper now?
Yeah, it happened.
Okay.
Ever since we saw Matt in that locker room in those little blue briefs, I know that some gargoyle is gonna look at that and be like,
did something awaken in you?
Yeah, definitely.
What awakened in you?
So okay, next gargoyle. So we've done Goliath and Hudson.
Alright. So obviously, next we gotta talk about Broadway.
Okay.
Obviously.
So,
are we going in order of peck size?
Yes.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
That's what's
Broadway.
happening.
So Broadway.
I sort of feel like Brooklyn and Lexington like already haunt his pecs like all the time.
Just like teasingly.
I mean, like Lexington pokes like Broadway's belly.
Yeah, pokes the belly, slaps the ass, squeezes the chest, all that stuff.
Like I totally see that just happening casually. So
yeah,
I like that. I think that's really cute. And he reacts just sort of like goofily, like, "Yep, I know they're big."
I think he's kind of grumpy about it at first, but he's like, "Yeah, okay."
Yeah, like once he softens up a little bit.
My tits are big. I get it.
They're like, "Wow, how much milk can you get out of these suckers?" And they're
they definitely have made a joke about that. I feel like they would have canonically.
And he's like, "Suck them nips and find out." I don't know what we're doing anymore. Okay, next. Next gargoyle.
We're talking about tits. The tits.
Okay, who is squeezing Brooklyn's tits?
Demona.
Who is? No, I'm not doing
Demona. No. Bad touch. Bad touch. No, it'd probably be like Derek or Talon or whatever his name is. Just like because they got that weird like lovers triangle with Maggie or whatever.
But imagine it being Fang.
Okay, I'm imagining.
Ooh, I'm liking that.
Okay, wait, which one is Fang one doesn't talk, or is he the jerk one?
He's the jerk. Just
okay,
imagine him having
oh, he would do that
again. He's had him chained up like multiple times, and then doing it.
Be like, "You're not getting free. See, these aren't getting free ever." He'd just like squeeze Brooklyn's chest, and he'd be like, "Dude."
Oh, I love that. I actually love that dynamic a lot. Yeah. Like, it's just kind of like they're teasing each other. He's teasing him constantly. I
actually really like that.
I mean, that is kind of the dynamic.
I would like to point out that Fane has bigger tits than Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, Brooklyn fans, but you cannot dispute that. Like,
that might be another one. Like, Fang would be asserting his dominance. He'd be like, "Look at these little itty bitty tits." Like, squeeze them. Be like, "Now look at mine." And like, he'd just like rip his shirt off and show them off, and Brooklyn would be like, "Can you please just leave me alone?" Like, I was very happy being tied up before you showed up here.
Oh god, Fane is like my second favorite villain in the show. For those who don't know, I would rank him. I would rank him just below, like, Wolf.
That's really funny, because I think he's just some dweeb.
He is some dweeb!
He is.
That's why he's so good!
He's not really an evil guy, he's just an asshole.
And, like, the thing is, he often shows up in some of the worst episodes, but he's still so much fun.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and he's very muscular, too. He's short, but muscular.
He is muscular.
He's stocky. He's, like, the shortest one of the mutates,
He wears a really slutty outfit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He has all the aspects that we look for in a Gargoyles.
There's a lot of subtext between him and Claw that Remy has pointed out to me in messages before, and it's honestly left me squeeing the stuff he's pointed out.
I mean, I feel like Claw deserves
because, well, yeah, but there's also the implication that they knew each other before they were mutates.
Yeah, because they were both homeless guys.
And Claw is constantly trying to like. He's constantly trying to, like, impress and, like, hang out with Fane, despite Fane being an asshole.
He is.
Yeah. There's even one cute scene later in the series where, like, Claw is, like, super happy that he found something, and he's, like, dangling it in front of Fang's face, and it looks like he's expecting a kiss there.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think Fane just kind of, like, brushes him off, but, like...
He does.
Yeah, but it's like such a cute scene.
Okay, what if Dingo, spurned by Wolf, ends up with Claw after Claw is like spurned by Fang? Like they both leave like abusive relationships, and then they end up together and like.
I'm pretty sure I wrote a scene with them together at some point in my.
Okay.
Really?
Okay. See, all that put into mind. All that put into mind was like the ship between Fane and Wolf I have in my head sometimes.
Yeah, because they're both like jerks who deserve each other.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, what if
they like being
mutates Dingo's
mutates.
outfit, and Dingo can wear Claw's outfit, and they look hot?
I like that. Yeah. I'm a fan.
I like because
they
both dress like sluts.
I have a thing with bulges, and I have a thing with, like, briefs, so, like, yeah, I would like to see Dingo wearing those.
Yeah. Last gargoyle. Okay, we're on Lexington.
Okay. We're on Lexington. How would he react? He'd be
I
like,
don't know.
Who's doing the squeezing?
"You don't know."
Stagheart. He'd be into it. He'd be like, touch anywhere you like. And Stagheart would be like, okay.
He'd be kind of blushy about it at first, but then
yeah,
he'd
he
like,
would be.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. But then his dommy side would be awakened if it persisted, and be like, yeah,
Yeah.
keep squeezing him.
Yeah, keep squeezing. I'm gonna give you a facial. And Stagheart would be like,
I'm
whoa,
gonna do-
okay.
keep squeezing him.
Because he isn't even aware of like how Dommy Lexington gets. But like he'll learn very rapidly.
Yeah.
In a few minutes, you'll be squeezing something else if you catch my drift.
Lexington would be like,
And
yeah,
he's
get over
"What?"
here, handlebars. And Stagheart would be like, handlebars? And then...
Oh my god, oh my god. So Stagheart's antlers would be great to grab during a blowjob.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
I like that.
I know.
That's all I had to say about it. That's all I had to say.
So the peck squeezing would lead to like happier, sexy things in their future, which is lovely.
I think we should encourage gargoyles having their pecs squeezed, but we don't
Yes.
encourage just
Squeeze your
groping
gargoyle's
random
pecs today.
people. We don't encourage just groping random people in real life, though. Like, don't do that. If you do that, you're scum. But, like, in
Yeah.
the meantime, in the terms of fan fiction and the fact that these are gargoyles and we love these characters, yeah, we definitely encourage them.
Only squeeze the pecs of those who consent to this squeezing.
Yes, thank you, yes, yeah.
I like that we just have little disclaimers about the nature of consent. That's a healthy thing to hear.
That is true, yeah. That's why I thought I should include it. Okay.
I didn't even mention my environmental message when all the oil shit started exploding. I was gonna do a whole thing about and this is why we should rely more on renewable energy resources.
You can talk about that.
No, it's
do that now.
I just did that. We should write to your senators, listeners, and encourage them to invest in green energy
Go
that
solar.
won't explode and is better for the environment.
Yeah. I mean, Blockbuster died for a reason, so it's like we're not gonna keep trying to fulfill Ultrons just to harm the environment.
What?
Anyways, I think that is about it for this episode.
Yeah. How long is this one going to be? How long have we been talking for?
I have 3 hours and 5 minutes.
That's wonderful. Okay, let's say who we are. I am Manicorn, aka Croup, aka Super Goblin, aka Spankacorn now on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter, on Patreon as Manicorn, I want to say. On FA as Croup, Archive of Our Own under Manicorn. I link to everywhere else that I'm at all those places. If you find just one of them, you can find me in all the other ones too. And I write sexy fan fiction and spanking stories and like werewolf spankings and all sorts of fun stuff like that. If you want to be turned on by weird kinky stories with magic and paddles, you should find me. And you should also join, this is sort of a tangent, the Loincloth Hour Discord server, where we have a cool group of guys who hang out and we talk about gargoyle stuff, and we are very silly there, and we have fun, and you should find the link to that on the Loincloth Hour Twitter page, which is Loincloth Hour.
Yeah, also, we post behind the scenes of the Loincloth Hour stuff in there once in a while if you're interested in seeing, some of the stuff we do behind the scenes. And amongst other things, we have a meme channel, we have an art channel, we have a music channel. And it doesn't always have to be gargoyles. We talk about in there, but we do talk about.
You need to be a gargoyles fan to be there, but we don't need to talk about gargoyles. It's a far-ranging group of conversations taking place every day, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. BEA beautiful. You want me to go next with the introduction, or are you still you have?
No, I'm finished now.
Okay. Hi, my name is Sydney, aka Syd Scripts on Twitter. You could find me on Fur Affinity at Alistair Alderman, where I write kinky stories and fan fiction involving characters I hyperfixate on, OCs I hyperfixate on. I post a lot about my hyperfixations on most social media, so if you follow me just about anywhere, you will be hearing the same shit over and over again for years. So if you're a fan of that, me being super passionate about stuff, you should follow me. I also do writing, editing, music, etc. If you wanted to commission me for something, or you wanted to explore some of my creative projects, I make music under the moniker Stag in the Headlights. You could check out some of the videos I've edited in the past on my YouTube channel, Sir Neutral. And other than that, I don't really have any other tags. I just hope you enjoyed listening to the podcast, because I put a lot of creative effort into it. As Croup does as well. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
I know that you put in a hell of a lot of effort behind the scenes, because you do all the editing. Yeah. You put music in once in a while. You put in clips from the show.
Editing.
You're working on a theme song today, so that should be awesome.
I spent a lot of time working on the theme song. I hope I can include it in this episode. If not, it's well.
So.
Yeah. I sent you a voice message about my progress with that before we got on the call.
Okay. I'll listen to it later.
Yeah, I'll keep you updated. In the meantime, I think that's about it for my tags. Hiran, do you want to go?
Sure. I'm Hiran. You can find me at Pangolin Hiran on Twitter, or AO3, or as 13333 on Fur Affinity, which I can't wait till they let us change our names.
Right, me too.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's it. I'm not as around as some of the others.
You do post lots of sexy spanking or humiliation stories to FA.
Yeah.
Also, you have your own fun cast of characters who are all very hot, and who all seem to be getting into sexy danger on the regular.
Always.
So it's a lot of fun. You should definitely read his stuff. It's hot. He also commissions a lot of hot stories too. Artworks as well.
Yeah.
Which
I need to post more of.
I think I forgot to mention it. I also do have a YouTube page at the moment, which is Manservice.
You mentioned it earlier.
I mentioned it during the show. I'm just going to mention it again.
You should mention it again. I was going to say, I was just going to point out that you did.
But so it's Manservice, ! It's on YouTube. I post 3 or 4 clips a day of just
I love it.
fan service moments from anime and games
I get
it's
notification updates every time you post a video.
Yeah.
And I love the clips you post, honestly.
Aw, thank you.
Of course, I mean, that's literally how you and I met, is I started following your blog. I think that's how most.
And then I was this guy posts sexy gifs too.
Yeah.
We were 2 peas in a pod.
Yeah, I kind of took inspiration off of your stuff, and I started doing creative stuff on my own with it, and that's kind of how we clicked.
Yay, friendship. Yeah. It happened.
Yeah, friendship is magic. The Care Bears are real. I've seen them. They come into my house at night, and they steal my cookies.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, I know,
what
right?
They say about bears.
Mm-hmm.
I eat them.
I mean,
the gummy bears, right?
Okay, what song should we sing to sing ourselves off this episode? Thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it.
I'm going to be having dreams of wolves, ginormous tits. They're really big,
Okay, that's it, Don. We're done now.
Okay, yeah.